Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing okay. And welcome to what is a bit of a surprise stream. Now, we knew that AC Evo, or I guess the team behind AC Evo, were working very, very hard to bring us the early access that we all expected and the early access that obviously they feel their players deserve. But there were some issues. There were definitely some issues early days. We've not been able to access online mode, try out the Driver Academy, which has led to the unlocking of lots of key modes that should be available during this first phase of early access. We should have had currency, we should have had XP, we should have had dealerships, car customization. They've been working away, changing things a little bit behind the scenes, unlocking things in offline mode to try and allow us to actually experience the game. But now, finally, although not permanently, just as a little kind of stress test for this for one day only, we're actually going to be able to access a lot of these things. So hopefully this should work. Now I don't know why you guys can't see this, but hang on a second. Hopefully you'll be able to see the game in just a second. In the meantime, I can do that for you. But yeah, let me know if you're watching, where you're watching from. Was this a surprise to you? And obviously, let us know if you're going to be able to get onto it tonight, for example, because I didn't expect this today, and I'm sure a lot of you will have not been expecting it immediately either. So let me just bring up the chat so I can see you guys' comments when they come through. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Oil Slick. Welcome, Ryder, as well. Welcome, Frank. Juan, hello from Mexico. Hello to you. There's the early access roadmap. Evening, Adam. How's it going? Good to see you watching the stream as well. I'm sure you'll be frantically writing things up as we speak. Greece, Slovenia, UK. Everyone's here. Right. Nice to see you all. I am going to jump into the game now because I'm sure you guys are desperate to see what's happening. Now, just to be absolutely clear, I don't know how this is going to work. This is the first time I've clicked go. So I'm going to be kind of learning it as we go like you guys. And we'll be working it out as we go along. If the game audio is too quiet or too loud, I've mucked around with it, and this is a kind of sudden emergency stream, so please tell me if the car's too loud, if it's too quiet. We're just going to have a kind of guesstimation at where the audio level should be, and we'll go from there. Okay. So, in Assetto Corsa EVO, you will need to unlock driving licenses in order to drive vehicles. You'll start with the entry license, which is enough for the starter vehicle group. And then you've got sports cars, supercars, hypercars, racing 1, 2, 3. Let's see what it says now. Driving licenses will entitle you to unlock vehicle groups and purchase or rent the vehicles you want. So obviously, if you've been playing AC Evo in the last number of days, you've been able to try all 20 cars, which shouldn't be the case. You should have to only be able to choose from the first kind of starter cars, buy one, and then work your way up to make money. Obviously, you can buy cars and through unlocking vehicle groups through driver licenses, and you can also rent cars, which is lower cost with less customization options. That's cool. So entry, sports cars. So that's your, I guess, the starter cars, supercars, hypercars. So there's distinguished. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a difference there between supercars and hypercars, which is very interesting. And obviously, racing, it looks like there's multiple categories depending on what level of race car. So your Mazda MX-5 will be racing 1, presumably. Maybe your Ferrari Challenge car will be 3. But we've obviously still got single seaters down the line as well. Yes, check out the official Discord so that if any of you guys want to try this for yourselves, you of course can. Obviously, you can stick around if you're unable to play the game right now and experience it for the first time live with me, or if you're at home, you're on the rig, you can go and try this yourself just by entering the public Steam beta, which has been made available. Hopefully, someone will be able to help with that in the chat as well whilst I'm going through this. Obviously, I'd love you guys to stick around, so leave the stream on while you play, that's fine as well, or go and play. The main thing is that you get to experience what they've wanted us to experience. You're free to play how you prefer through single player, multiplayer, and special event game modes. In all ranked scenarios, you'll collect XP points. This will help you improve your rank and collect virtual credits. So there's your currency, it's just credits, virtual credits for renting, purchasing, or customizing vehicles. And that's it. We've got to create a profile. So let's do that right now. Hello to everyone who's joining the chat. We're gonna finally, and we did this a lot, by the way. We streamed our first impressions of this game when it first released last week. And I've done a summary video, which is about 10 minutes long, summarizing all of my thoughts from those first 3 hours of driving before the kind of first update came, allowing you to drive all 20 cars, by the way, so you can go and check that out. We did, during that stream, multiple times try to create a driver profile, and it didn't work. So hopefully this time it will actually save, and I've heard from my colleague Ross, who's jumped on this as I've been setting up the stream, that things do save, although it'll only be for one day, of course, because this is only going to be available for one day. Right, here we go. Purchase your first car. You have an initial budget of 65,000 virtual credits. And this is, of course, the 6 starter cars that we were presented with. So I kind of know how these handle, at least. You've got the Abarth, which is 40,000 credits. Interesting. We've got the Alfa Romeo Junior, which is 47,500. Honestly, one of my favorite cars from experiencing this to begin with. Surprisingly so, but I did love driving that. That's definitely an option. Obviously, the Cosy 60,000 credits has got to be an option too, but that's kind of that's one that everyone will go for because it's a load of fun. I might consider the Alpha at a cheaper cost and try and save up some credits to get some other vehicles. The Honda S2000, interesting. There's a range of prices here. 26,000 to 34, I guess, depending on the spec. That's something we'll need to check out. Hyundai as well, 40 to 42,000 for the i30. So these are all within budget. And 45,000 for the Golf. Ooh, right, okay. So the Cosy is going to be the most expensive car. You can see the license required on the bottom left. I really want to buy the Alfa Romeo Junior, to be honest, just because I love driving it. I thought it was really interesting. The Honda S2000 is obviously going to be fun because it's rear-wheel drive. So I might check out the Honda, see what the different options are for the different costs. And we'll see. Yeah, this is a Steam beta, guys. So you need the code that should be available via the Kunos Discord. Hopefully someone can help you guys find that. If you're looking for it, you enter it in, you go into your Steam, you right-click on the game Assetto Corsa EVO, and you click Properties, and then in the Betas tab, you paste the code, click Go, and then hopefully you should be able to do this as well. Honda S2000, let's see what the crack is here. So 26,000 virtual credits for the base level car. It's 34,000 credits for the special edition Suzuka Blue, so that's just different colors, and you're paying more for. I don't know if there's a different configuration. They're both S2000 AP1. So, I don't think you're getting necessarily performance for the extra money, just a different paint color, which isn't really intriguing me, to be honest. I'm going to buy the Alfa Romeo Junior because I think it's one of the most intriguing cars on this game, and I really enjoy driving it. 47,500 credits, though. You can test drive it as well, which is interesting. So you do have the option to test drive a car before you buy it, which is cool. And you can configure it. So, now in other cars, I believe we've got customization options, which you can find out all the details, all the things that can be customized in each individual car, you can find out via the TraxionGG website. So head over there if you want to see the list of customization options. The Alfa Romeo Junior, we can change the brake caliper color, the roof in body color, and the body color itself. So I kind of want to get on with the game and find out the new stuff because we already know about this if you've been playing it in the last few days. But you can see there, I can pick between the manufacturer colors for the Alpha. So I can go white, black, gray, silver, all these things. So yeah, we'll go with this. We'll go with Bianco Sempione. Brake calipers are red. That's cool. Interior design. We've got stitching color. We can change, but at the moment it's just red, so nothing much there. Ambient light color as well. Oh, that's interesting. You can change. Oh, is that changing the? Yeah, look at the. Is that a fan? Or that's just Razer lights. That's the Razer logo. Whatever it is, you can change the color here on the fan. So we'll go with a kind of Italian green for that. Interesting. And then the wheels. We've only got one option for the wheels. It's not letting me view them right now, which is slightly irritating. But go exterior, then click wheels. Will it let us do anything? No, it's just one option. Okay, so we'll apply that. We've customized the car. We're now going to purchase the car. Yeah, it's a Razer logo. That's what I thought it was. Interesting. Purchase. No furry dice options yet. The race cars do have options like the race logic timer and things like that, but furry dice, surely that's got to come in a future update. Hopefully not paid DLC. Okay. We have a car, guys, and you can see at the top right, the currency says 18,500 virtual credits. We've got an entry 1 driver license, and I am level 1. So, it's looking quite Gran Turismo-y, isn't it? As you guys are also spotting in the comments. We should now have, though, the dealership, which we've just seen, customized vehicle options, which we've kind of just gone through a little bit, and we've got Academy. Finally, we can access Academy, albeit not permanently. Again, this is just a stress test, so let's jump in here. So here's your licenses. I'll leave my face up in the corner because you can see everything you need to see. You've got sports car license, supercar, hypercar license, and then the racing licenses 1 to 3. So that's all the things that were explained to us in the tutorial. There's 5 licenses per group, by the looks of it, and they're all locked until we do this first one. And it's your first hairpin, L turns, electric car, fast corner, rear wheel drive, and show us the lap. So you've got the variety there. We'll stick with the assists we've been running on so far. So manual gears, automatic, stuff like the pit limiter ignition, just for the sake of the stream to keep it easy. So no driver assists other than the kind of, you know, the stuff that doesn't actually affect the driving, just the stuff that keeps you going. It's a Brands Hatch GP, your first hairpin test in the Audi RS3 Sportback with scattered clouds. Let's jump in and give it a go, shall we? In the meantime, do let us know what you're thinking so far of Assetto Corsa EVO. It's very, very early days in an early access game, and the discourse is huge around this game. So much, so many discussions about it, good and bad, and I think there's a lot of relevance in all of them. People are just excited to talk about it, right? And I think there's a lot, as I discovered in my first playthrough this game, there's a lot of flaws with it, but you would expect that on day one. And there are also lots of things that are really good about it with good potential. So as I expected, it's a completely mixed bag. Right, first Driver Academy Challenge. You can see we're at the start of Paddock Hill Bend, and we're going to take it, go around turn 2 hairpin. We've got 3, 2, and 1 star, which you can't see right now in the top left, so I will move my face actually to the top right. Let me just pause this. Move me over. If it will let me. There we go. There we are. Right. So now you should be able to see when I go back on this that there are time goals for basically 3 stars, 2 star, and 1 star. So essentially bronze, silver, gold. I'm guessing you just need 1 star to pass the license, but I guess that'll become clear. Okay. So we're looking for a 25-second run for 1 star. It's also, there are braking cones as well. Oh, that's way too deep into the hairpin. So you've got some reference cones. So challenge 1 then, I've gone off the circuit. I don't know if that invalidates the challenge, but I've done it in 23.44. I'll do that again though, because that was obviously horrendous. We'll see how difficult it is to get gold. Oh, so you failed the challenge. Even if you get 1 star, it says failed. Or it might have been because we went off track. It's probably because we went off track. And then even the music here is almost Gran Turismo feeling as well. Gran Turismo license test vibes. Right, come on, let's do that again. Do a better job. So you're not driving your own car in these license tests. You'll drive your own car, I guess, in the races and the time trials, but we'll get to that. Or practice sessions, I should say. Okay. So you're flat out around Paddock Hill, and then it's all about braking point for the hairpin. Car obviously has some assists, it's got some traction ABS. Over the finish line, 20.712 on that one, so we're still 3/10 off gold. So it's not easy to get gold straight off the bat. We're 3/10 away after 2 attempts, but we did pass now and get 2 stars, so that's something. And you can see we've gained 6,000 credits from that. I'm sure all of that stuff will be balanced as time goes on, but at the moment, 6,000 credits for doing 1 license test feels like a lot. Okay. Right, one more time, guys. I'll go for gold, and if not, we'll move on to the next one. 3/10 up on that. I need to get the braking absolutely spot on, so it will take a few efforts to really... I think I jumped the start there. It'll take a few efforts to really kind of nail down a 3-star run. You'll have to be pretty much spot on with your braking point. Yeah, it's too deep. I was trying at the first cone, but it was way too deep. I think I jumped the start anyway, so we'll try that again. Oh, okay, so that's not quite fixed. Oh no, it is. Put my glove on quickly before we get going. I think the timer actually starts after you... So I think the timer starts when the lights go out, not when you leave the line. So that's really interesting. You can jump the start in this, and that will affect your performance. No, too deep. I'm useless. Okay. Absolutely failed. 20.6. Absolutely failed at getting a gold in the first challenge for now, but let's move on, because we can always come back and try and get 3 stars. I want to see more of this. 3,000 credits on that attempt, so we're still gaining money even though we've already done this. So money is going up quickly. How are the game sounds, by the way? Is the game loud enough? I probably can use the mouse with the glove on, to be fair. It's a trackpad, so it's a little bit different to a mouse. But to be fair, it's working with the glove on, so I can probably stop being stupid and taking it off every single time. Right. You can see now we've unlocked license number 2, which is L turns. We still haven't unlocked 3, 4, or 5. We haven't unlocked any of the other ones, so you have to do it in order, which is perfect. And now we're doing L turns in an escort Cosworth in the overcast conditions. But yeah, let me know if the sound's okay. Yeah, you're totally right about the gloves. I've just realised I'm being an idiot. I'm used to I'm used to taking it off when I'm between things for a longer period, but right now I absolutely don't need to. Okay, 4-wheel drive off the line. Always going to help. $36.3 for 3 stars in the second test. It's another section of the lap at Brands Hatch. So that's 2 tests so far, and it's essentially a chronological order run of a lap of Brands Hatch. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes up as well as we go through. Let's wait and see. Alright, it's going to be 2 stars, I think, on the first run. Yeah. 10th and a half off of the 3 star. We'll do that one more time. 4,000 credits, so actually less credits for that one than I did on the Brands one, which is interesting. Don't know why. We're quickly getting our money back though, which is good. Right, come on, one more attempt. Try and get 3 star and then we'll move on. The start thing's really interesting. I wonder if the closer you get to, I wonder if reaction time really will affect your results. We're already quicker on this run, I think, though. It's so fun doing these challenges in a road car like I'm playing Gran Turismo, but with Assetto Corsa physics. I just think it's a really weird feeling to be doing something that you associate with growing up playing the early Gran Turismo games, but with such realistic physics, relatively. Obviously it's still a lot to be refined there, but there we go. 35.7. There's our 3 stars. It's a weird, good feeling, I'll be honest. First 3 star run. We'll take that. 5,000 credits. We're up to 37,000. Right. Let's keep on charging through this this first set of license tests, and then we'll see what happens as well when we jump into a race and see if we've only got the car that we bought, which should be the case. Right. Number 3's been unlocked, and the good thing is here, guys, you can see as well, it tells you your best result exactly. So there's no leaderboard or anything yet. It doesn't store your, I guess, like all of your runs, so maybe it just replaces it with the best time, but that's still something. You can compare your time with your friends at least. It does look like all of these are on Brands Hatch, because you've got electric car fast corner, that's going to be the run to the bottom of the hill. You've got rear wheel drive is probably going to be the last sector, and then show us the lap is the final one. So I'm guessing all of that is just a full lap of Brands. So let's try number 3. Let's try number 3. Oh, you're so right, Michael. I remember Gran Turismo 4, which was my kind of first proper Gran Turismo experience as a kid. I played a bit of 3, but I never owned it. It was Gran Turismo 4 on PS2. And obviously you're sitting there with a controller, and when you're trying to get gold in all of them, you had to be so precise with every single input. And obviously you're racing against the ghost constantly, so you're just making micro adjustments to try and get the gold. But obviously being able to do that with a proper rig and a steering wheel and being able to learn things in this way nowadays is just awesome. As a child of Gran Turismo, it's awesome. Right. I think you can actually time the start, because there's not there doesn't appear to be a random amount of time that the lights go out, if that makes sense. It seems to be in stages, so the red lights come on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. It seems to be the time gap between each light is the same, so I think that means it's fairly straightforward in terms of getting a good start. Okay, I need to learn this Alpine, but that was a pretty bad first corner. On the power early, not so bad. Don't think it's going to be gold, no, it's definitely not. 32.0, so 2 stars on that one. I even called it a gold there. I can definitely find some more time there by being more committed. It's one of my favourite corners in the UK, that, and I've actually forgotten what it's called right now. Okay. Try that again. So you see the lights here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Pretty much exactly. Oh no, I went in the grass. Let's just retry that, shall we? I was looking at the comments and I literally drove onto the grass in the entry. Not great. Not great. This is of course, a central seating position on this car. So I wasn't even thinking about that. And that's probably what I've done there. Could probably get a better start as well rather than full throttle. You're so right about the central seating position, though. I was probably driving it, just assuming it wasn't, not even thinking about it too much. Huge lift off oversteer, not great through the first corner again there. Keep power in. Yeah, just got away with it track limits wise. Wow, that one's harder. 31.894. It wasn't perfect by any stretch, but I'm still half a second off through 2 corners, so we'll come back to that one later. That's 2 stars, and I'm going to settle with that. 50,000 credits. I've taken my glove off again. Let's move on. So Traction, I've just posted. Thank you, whoever's logged in doing the chat right now, because it's clearly not me. We've got an article up how you can actually access this right now. So you need to go and check that article out. It'll tell you what code to enter, how to do it. I'm assuming I've not read the article, but I trust that it will have all the information you need, and you too can give this a go. Just for 1 day only. So, test number 4. Have I encountered any bugs yet? I've not encountered any bugs on this yet today in this very short run, but I have encountered bugs in the general game, as I'm sure many people have. One of the things about early access, you're kind of expecting those sorts of things, but I have had a few major glitches and a few small ones as well, like the track randomly changing after I've selected it, for example. But nothing today so far. Right, let's do it. GT86, last sector of Brands Hatch. I think I've got an in-car traction control as well, so I need to try and bear that in mind. Just such an awesome part of circuit, this. Oh yeah. Wasn't ready for that. Sorry, I've done 4 challenges in front-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive cars, and I actually just turned into the first corner and completely forgot I was driving a GT86. That was absolutely shocking. Right, let's do that again and do it better, shall we? You can escape to end the session early. There's my failure. But we're on 50,000 credits already, so I can already afford every car except the Cosy. So on this particular stress test, I know this is not in any way final, but it doesn't take long to build up credits. So you'll be able to try a few different cars. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Oh, that stupid traction control kicking in. Right. Let's remember it's rear-wheel drive this time when we turn into the first corner. I just love this though, working out live in real time. Obviously, it's the first lap in any given car on any given circuit, so you're jumping straight in and you're trying to be close to the pace. So you are just going to take a few runs to get up to speed in normal circumstances. Can you drive through the thing? Yes, you can. I want to test that. You can drive through the inflatable. 33.47, we're about 700s off of gold or 3 stars, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to do it one more time. It is a bit like that, yeah. There's it's funny because that actually happened in the WRC last season. Oit Tanak driving his Hyundai, I think it was it during the Latvian rally? He drove straight through one of those inflatable bridges which had fallen onto the stage, and he drove straight through it down the middle thinking it would clear, and it obviously just caused big damage and stopped the car. It's a really bizarre incident. And they basically, the WRC, as far as I can work out, tried to cover it up, and no replays were shown on any of the coverage, even though there was cameras at that spot, so it was a bit of a funny one. Obviously these barriers, you can't take them down in this game, you can drive straight through them, so none of that will be repeated on AC Evo. Right, this has been much better. Just need to get the last corner right and we should get 3 stars. Yeah. 32.94. Excellent. So I think I've got, two sessions I've got 3 stars, 2 I've got 2 stars. So we head now into the final challenge, which should be the full lap. And it's interesting as well how the cars that you're driving during this license test form, I think, the category that you're about to unlock. So if that didn't make any sense there, forgive me. I believe that because we are doing the sports car license test, we are driving sports cars in most of these challenges. Although saying that, the Escort is available to buy straight away, isn't it? So not quite sure.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Osley. How's it going?
I'm good. B's test looks pretty damn good.
It does look good.
You're absolutely smashing it.
The rear-wheel drive one that I've just done, I got 3 stars. Unfortunately, it's not actually showing up that I've passed it yet, so I've got to do it again. I just got gold by half a second, and it's denied me O's.
Probably because you smashed into the inflatable.
Yeah, but I don't think so, because it said 3 stars. But I get where you're coming from, because it's the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
But it still said 3 stars, so I'm not sure what happened there. We'll try it again, though. This was a bit of a surprise, though, wasn't it, Oz?
Yeah, very much so. I wonder if it'll change much at all on the final release.
I think, obviously, this is a stress test to see if the servers can handle it, in terms of having lots of people on at the same time, maybe, but I'm also thinking that, like, some of the stuff can easily be balanced, right? Like, the amount of virtual credits you can actually win, for example. That was rubbish. Restart that. I think the balancing of the cash will need done, and I guess right now it's maybe weighted towards earning more money so that you can try more different combinations, perhaps. Because we've only got one evening to try it, so I think they want you to be able to make quite a lot of money and buy quite a few different types of cars, maybe. Alright, we're trying that again. This one I don't think is as quick as the previous 3-star run, but we'll see how it goes when we cross the line. Didn't touch the bollard. 32.935, quite similar I think, so let's see if it actually gives me the 3 stars this time and we can progress. That would be a bit of a problem if it didn't. Oh, it's not really working. So it says XP earned, credits earned, wallet value. It's not coming up with the actual result, which is interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's because you've already earned that.
Yeah, but that would be a disaster because the game's not. The game doesn't acknowledge that I've earned that, unless it's because I hit the bollard again, or not the bollard, the inflatable. Ooh,
no, you definitely did.
There's the bug. Oh no, it's worked. It's worked. We're
nice.
Good. Panic over, guys. I thought the stream was going to be over.
I was going to come in here and say that you've got the chat overlay up on OBS.
Oh. So it's
yeah.
Let's see where that is. So on my screen on OBS it looks okay. What do you mean, sorry, by the chat overlay up?
So at the bottom left on your OBS window, there's something which says chat is disabled for the live.
I see. Sorry guys, I did see some comments about that and I couldn't see anything. It's just a little bit of text there waiting for chat. Okay, apologies.
Also,
That's
if I could interject, apologies. Tom here again. Ever so often, the question comes up all the time in the live chat. How is this possible? Please check the pinned message in the live chat. This is a beta test. It's live for everybody if you want right now, but only for a few hours. So
Yes.
we're jumping on it while we can. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Tom. I will try and repeat that every 5 minutes because we'll have new people jumping on. But
Yeah,
guys,
that'll be good. Oh,
you can do this. You can actually try this right now. As you can see, I'm experiencing a bit of a glitch now. I can see that I've got 3 stars on the 4th challenge, but I'm kind of stuck in this loading screen and nothing I can do to change that. So I might have to quit the game and jump back in. So stand by. We're going to give that a go. Have you spoken to Ross at all, Tom? Spoken to anyone who's trying it? Oh, Tom might have left. I've got my Discord muted as well, so I can't hear when people leave and join me. Right, we're relaunching the game, guys. So hopefully this gets sorted. But that is bug number 1. We were talking about bugs about 5 minutes ago. And here we are. Yeah, some people had mentioned the chat overlay earlier. I hadn't, I couldn't actually see that little bit of text on my smaller monitor here, so apologies. But we're sorted now. We are sorted now. So, hopefully we're good. And we're back on. Let's see if it saved our progress, because that's one of the questions. Obviously, it's short term anyway. So you can see our 32.9 is still there. We're now going to do the full lap in the Alpine A110 at Brands. Can we get 3 stars in the first attempt? I highly doubt it, but I'm going to give it a go. Right, let's do it. Again, you can feel the traction control coming in on the 110S. Terrible first corner, but we got away with it a little bit. Probably lost 3/10 or something. Too early on the brakes into the hairpin, so that's something we can improve on next run as well. When you're doing these license tests, or driver academy, whatever you want to call it, I guess the first run is just your, working out how hard you can push each individual corner, and then you apply that on the second one, and that's what makes them so enjoyable, I guess. Obviously, it's great if you nail the first run and get it perfect, but the enjoyment comes from, finding your limit through each of the corners and then being able to nail a subsequent run. This Alpine is actually quicker than I give it credit for, and as a result, I'm going in a little bit too hot to all these corners, so I'm definitely going to have to, I've already gone off track, so I think it'll be invalid, but I'm going to have to redo it anyway. Yeah, we didn't expect this to be coming today. I really didn't. I knew they're working on a fix for the online mode, but I wasn't expecting this test to be readily available. Second half of the lap's not been too bad. So I think we'll definitely not be 3-star, we'll be probably close to 2-star. But huge room for improvement. So let's see, 145 something probably. 145.8. But invalid. So we'll see if the invalidation actually happens. Yeah, it says failed. So if you do run off the track, just like Gran Turismo, I was about to take my glove off. If you do run off track, it does invalidate the run, which is good. Right. Try that one more time. Hopefully one more time. On the downshifts, this car doesn't like it very much. You have to kind of blip the throttle, I'm pretty sure, to get the downshifts properly, which is, it's satisfying. Must be oh no, same mistake as last time. Right, we're going to restart that one. You really have to feel the car on the downshifts, which I love. It's an enjoyable challenge. I saw you guys asked if I was going to get 3 stars in that run. There's your answer. This time. I do wonder if subsequent updates as well will bring new licenses and new license challenges. Because at the moment, 5 per license is, you know, you can get through that fairly quickly. Which to some people would be a good thing, some people would be a bad thing. What a shocking lap so far this is. Gonna have to brake earlier on this run down the hill. It's gonna have to be a superb end to the lap to have any chance of 3 stars here.
Hello.
Hello, Ross. You are the fourth member to join the chat. How's it going?
Excellent. I've always wanted to be a member.
Have you already smashed 3 stars on everything?
I did 3 stars from the first set of license tests, but I've had reports that the electric car one is super difficult.
Was that report from me by any chance?
No,
That's what I was
the other
about to
people.
say. You're just
also-
Ayrton Senna with an electric car.
Absolutely, and it didn't take me about 20 attempts to do it. Yeah, it's a really difficult one. So I experimented a little bit and I turned traction control off.
Oh, you can do that. Okay.
So if you start with traction control on and then turn it off for the 2 corners, it seems to make a difference, but...
That's interesting.
Not sure.
I need to assign buttons to be able to change my traction control on the fly because it's actually already annoying me in certain situations where I don't want the traction to kick in. This has been a shocking lap, by the way.
I've also just come in to report that I've lost like all my progress.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing the hypercar ones, which is like the 3rd tier. That's at Laguna Seca, and like just as I was starting the 3rd one, it felt like the game was about to crash, and I lost all progress apart from the very first license test, and it's not even saved like a 3-star license. It's saved like 2-star attempt.
Oh,
So
weird.
something weird has really went on.
Very random as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and like restart the game and see if that helps, but it looks like it's quite buggy. I can't really be bothered going through them all again.
Well, I mean, the thing is, at the end of today anyway, you're gonna lose all your progress, so it's only a test, really. Oh,
Exactly.
I am absolutely shocking in this Alpine A110S. You know what? It's faster than I expected the Alpine. I thought it was going to be a little bit more. I know it's the S version, but it's the step up from the GT86 is pretty big, or the GR86 or whatever it is in this game.
Yeah. So the Alpine S has like 300 horsepower or something like that. So
Yes.
and it only weighs like a ton and a little bit, so it's a speedy boy.
I need to stop driving it like it's a regular Alpine. That's the problem.
Yeah, because we're so used to driving Alpines and stuff like that.
I think this one will give the F1 effort a run for its money. Oh, that's shocking. I am terrible. Right. I'm going to try the traction control thing and see what difference it makes. So we'll go into settings. We'll change it on the fly. Other than you losing... oh, sorry, on you go.
Yeah, I switched off traction control for the Alpine lap of brands, and that seemed to help a bit.
Yeah, we'll get back to that one. I also want to test now that we've kind of owned one car, I want to see how that works in terms of earning credits by doing races, for example. I don't know if you've had a chance to test any of that yet.
Not yet. That's under special events, I think. So, or is it? In fact, no, it would be. Because the special events cars like set for you. So
I need to look at that as well. Let's just bind a button here. So we've got traction control set. Yeah, special events I need to look into. So we'll get to that next for everyone watching the stream as well. We're going to try and do a little bit of everything in this current version.
yeah, so the car you've got will be like, I guess it's a career mode that's come in of some kind. So that'll be relevant to that, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so we can change. There we go. We can change traction control on the fly. So yeah, let's do this 300 horsepower Alpine with no traction, just to see what happens and prove my negligence or my lack of ability, or both.
So I restarted the game and all the progress is returned.
Oh, great.
Hooray!
Okay, that's good.
So just a little random button.
So much better off the line in rear-wheel drive cars with the traction off. That's a good note for the start.
Yep.
Shocking through Paddock Hill though. Not traction control, me.
I take it in 4th gear.
Yeah, I tried it. I think I tried it in 4th that time, but I got the line all wrong on the way in.
You need like really soft you need a soft left foot, I think, for the brake pedal. You can't mash it like you would in a lot of other games. But I guess we're spoiled in terms of like having ABS and race cars and stuff.
Okay, traction off, you can really feel the difference when you get close to the limit on the exits. It doesn't make a huge difference obviously on the way in, which is understandable, but it's really when you start getting a bit out of shape, which, I mean, that's completely predictable, but that's exactly when it kicks in. You really notice the difference, but actually having none of it on, for me, helps rotate the car, so I like it. It's not been a good lap though, this one. No, I was 1/10 off getting 3 stars on this run, and now I'm just, I think I'm just overdriving it, trying to go as quick as I can rather than just taking it easy.
Let's producer Tom here again. Let's just remind people that anyone can try this now for a limited period. If that's okay.
If you could just, yeah, sorry.
Now visit the TraxionGG website. That's very easy. Just type in TraxionGG into your web browser. The top article on there explains how to get this, how to test this, and that we expect all progress will be wiped at some point this evening. We don't know when. There's no cap as to the number of people, which has come up in the chat, but there is a time limit, and it is a test, and it's a beta, and it is still a bit buggy. So if your progress is lost or the game freezes, restart this. Hopefully it should work for you again.
If you could just pop in with a customer service announcement every 5 minutes, Tom, that would be fantastic. Whilst I horrendously missed the apex.
I've got another tip for you. You can actually go on the last red light.
Okay, and then, is that a glitch then?
Maybe, but let's not tell anyone about it because it's really handy.
Okay, so if you mean if you go in the last red light, it doesn't give you a jump start, it just starts the timer when you start moving?
So yeah, I've actually like started like sort of midway through the red lights cycle. So the 5th red light, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, just to interject again. First, Roch in the live chat. Check out the pinned message. We have an article where this explains how to enter it. You can also find it if you're on Discord, and Assetto Corsa Discord, as people have replied. But it's a beta test. It's a limited time only. So check out the article. And for people asking for pedal telemetry and chat overlays, we're still very new to the streaming game, and we will work on future ones to investigate what we can do.
Yeah, we've looked into chat overlays before. We just need a bit more time to find the best solution for you guys. So I can see the chat, and you guys get a clear view of the screen, so you can see pretty much everything that's happening. But you will have to have the YouTube chat separate. So yeah, that's something we can definitely look into, and we will consider. But at least I can see your comments coming through when I'm not crashing into walls, or when I am crashing into walls, I'll probably still see them. There we go. We got it by 300ths of a second. We got the 3 stars. So let's.
Well done.
Thank you. Let's go and celebrate by checking out some other stuff that's now available that wasn't before.
Before we do that, if you could just have a quick look at some of the comments, John, maybe some praise for your driving there, some questions. It's all mostly the same stuff, but there you go.
So yes, we've unlocked the SC01 supercar license, so Italian chicanes, the Lotus Emira and Imola, so that's good.
The Lotus Emira sounds awful in this game. Just put it out there. That's terrible.
I've not really, honestly, I've not paid that much attention to the sound of the Lotus because I've only driven it once, and I wasn't really thinking about the sounds. But I'll need to pay special attention. There's your special events, by the way, guys. So you've got 6 special events at the moment. Now I don't know how this is going to work. I assume that there will be special events for certain periods of time that you can take part in. Maybe set a leaderboard challenge. Maybe you get a certain amount of money for passing it. But we will check that out. Let's see. I mean, Mount Panorama in the Porsche Cup car sounds spectacular. So let's see what that is. It's a hot stint. Ah, okay. So we'll maybe not do the full stint right now. We'll see what else there is. But you've got a 10-minute hot stint in the Porsche around Mount Panorama.
Nice one, Hyperoctane. Thank you for following the instructions and enjoy.
Excited to see what you guys think of this as well, if you manage to get on today. So yes, that's a 10-minute hot stint. I will come back to that at some point, but I want to explore more as to what the special events actually entail. So that's a little bit like special events in Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's a series of different challenges, presumably, with different, different types of challenges, so different disciplines essentially. The MX-5 one is also a 10-minute hot stint. So before I go and tell you that it's all different, let's actually test to make sure it is. Hyperoctane saying the instructions are unclear. Do you mean the instructions to get on the beta? Okay, that's a damp hot stint as well. So it looks like 3 out of 3 so far have been 10-minute hot stints.
A lot of people disagreeing with you, Ross.
About what?
The sounds.
The sound of the Lotus.
Oh, it's awful.
Is it realistically awful?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay.
No, I agree with you. Hubris and all. I'm only messing. Hey, it's early days, early access.
It must be perfect.
I think that's
3 out of 10.
the key thing to remember with all of this is, yeah, as you guys say, it's obviously it's early access, but there's so much chat about it, good and bad, and everyone's got a very strong opinion, and including us. And obviously, our job is to report on that, to try it out, to give guides, but also give opinions and all these kind of things. But there are lots of good things, there are lots of bad things, and there are lots of things that everyone will have a different opinion on. So I just think it's a good thing that everyone cares so much and everyone's so passionate, good and bad, about this game. It shows how much people are desperate for a strong Assetto Corsa game to play, which I think is very, very cool. And obviously it's going to change so much over the next few years, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. But if you don't like it now, park it up, go and play the game that you enjoy more, and come back and try it when it's been updated and there's a few changes, and see if you like it then.
And to anybody who's just joining us that's new, please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Assetto Corsa EVO content as and when we get it.
I'm going to have to try your trick, Ross, of starting on the 3 red lights. We're driving the Lotus, so we're putting your sound theory to test.
Yeah, so on the 5th red light, you can basically almost just go straight away, which is quite funny.
Gonna have to brake very early, I think, in this Lotus. Maybe a bit too early there. There's cones on the apex as well, which is interesting. Don't know if that signifies track limits or just kind of makes it feel more driving academy-y.
That's the other thing. The cones denote the apex of the corner and also a braking point.
Yeah. Not always
handy.
accurate, as I've discovered. Not always accurate.
A rough interpretation.
We got 2 stars. We got 2 stars on the first Amira test. 4,000. We've got 110,000 virtual credits now, so we are rolling in it. We can buy any of the first cars, but now that we've got the first license, we should be able to buy a sports car as well. So once I've tried this one more time, we'll go and see if we can buy one of the cars that we weren't offered at the start.
I have to say, I really enjoy the Ferrari 296.
I've not actually tried that. No, I did. I drove it in the wet around Brands Hatch, which did some capture for our kind of raw gameplay video, and it was huge fun. But it would spin its wheels all the way along the straight. But it was a lot of fun. I've gotten too hot this time. That's going to be rubbish for the time. Too early on the brakes first run, too late on the brakes second run. I guess that's what Driver Academy and these sorts of things are all about. Finding your limits. And because it's not a GT3 car, it's not like you have a kind of preconditioned braking point that you're very, very used to going for, a preconditioned line, same as like a Formula 1 game, for example. You get very used to roughly where you're braking. Obviously, with this kind of game, where you've got all of these different road cars, different speeds, different braking capabilities, it's a lot more challenging because every single car is going to have a different braking point. And these road cars, the braking point normally is a lot earlier because you've got more power, higher straight line speed, and then obviously less grip and braking capability. So it's really interesting. Yeah, guys, if you're jumping on this and you're wondering how on earth you can actually play this game and or play this particular update with the license test of the Driving Academy and everything, check out the pinned comment, check out the TraxionGG website for instructions, and you'll be able to jump on and give it a go yourself. I'm going to go to the dealership and see what we can now buy with our money and our sports car license. Yeah, here we are. Lots of options have opened up for us. So we should now be able to buy the Alfa Romeo Giulia, which is awesome, by the way. We can't afford it yet, 175,000 virtual credits, but it is so much fun to drive, that Alfa Romeo. Both Alphas right up there for me. We've got the A290 electric Alpine as well, but we can't afford that either. We've also got the A110S, which is a sports car, 70,000, so we can buy and tame the Alpine we just drove. Obviously the Audi. So yeah, you can see how these licenses are working. Now that we've got that first license completed, it unlocks these cars for us to purchase, but we can't necessarily afford them yet. Interesting, the M2 CS Racing is a road car, and this is... Oh no, it's not. It's the racing license. Ignore me. In fact, I've been looking at all of the cars and just saying you can buy them, but actually, what it's doing now is showing us all 20 cars in the dealership and the license that you need. So you cannot buy the M2 until you have the Racing 1 license. That makes a lot of sense. Can't buy the Camaro. So what will we be able to buy? I don't really want to buy anything quite yet. Obviously the GR86 is a sports car. Wonder what the most expensive car is as well. 230 for the Porsche. 390,000 credits for the 488 Challenge Evo. So that's a big one. Ross's beloved 296 there. 275,000.
Bargain.
So yeah, VS is Sergio is virtual credits essentially. So virtual dollars, virtual credits. They've got a dollar symbol, but it does say at the start of the game that it's virtual credits. So that's what that's referring to. The number in the square, I'm honestly not sure what that number represents. I thought I knew what that number represented, which was kind of some sort of performance figure for the car, but I don't think that's true because the numbers are quite random sometimes. I don't know if you know, Ross. When you're in the garage or the dealership and you see a yellow number at the top right of each car, do you know what that represents?
Well, I thought, like, Paul, what you did is some sort of like, performance indicator. Like Gran Turismo 7's PB.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. But yeah, it doesn't seem to work. Because I think, like, racing cars have smaller values.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I didn't know if that was just broken or...
So, producer Tom putting in here, officially it is a performance indicator, a numerical value showing the car's performance potential. However, I suspect the numbers are not final.
That's what it is, yeah, because the Ferrari 296 has got 34, whereas the race car, which is quick around a lap, has got like 14 or something, or 12. So I think it's still to be... Okay, so that's good to know what it's meant to be. It just
It's a PI.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Pie.
I'm going to try a 2-lap race in the Alfa Junior, which is the car I own right now, to see if we get some credits from doing a single-player race, just to see what happens. So we're going to do an AI race. We'll start from the back just to make it a bit interesting. And see if we get some credits.
I'm currently driving your Mazda at Suzuka.
Very nice.
How close in performance is the Mazdas that you used to drive compared to the in-game Mazda, the Mazda Cup car?
I'm still to work it out, to be honest. I've not done... One thing I haven't done with this game yet, and I really want to do soon, is a proper performance test. So I sit down, do lots of laps in a single combination and just really get to grips with the handling and try and get more lap time out of it. All I've done really is jump on and experience, what does a car look like? How does it feel for a few laps? The kind of general stuff. So that's something I really need to still explore, to be honest. And also, in terms of the tracks, the only track that I'd really have reference for is Brands Hatch Indy, and I can't even remember if I did a dry race there. I think I would have done, but I did a load of wet races there. I know qualifying was soaking wet when I raced there in the single make series, and then in endurance stuff it's obviously different. So I would need to give it a try, but it's maybe an interesting experiment at some point. Oh dear, the Mark IV, or the ND Mazda that's in this game as well, is slightly different to the one I was racing. It should be a little bit quicker, and also I think you've got the sequential gearbox on that car, and it's also all about tyres as well. I think, does the race car in game, Ross, have slicks? Because I think it does.
I don't know.
There are a couple of different...
It certainly feels like slicks, as I'm racing in the rain at Suzuka.
Too slick. Okay, so I'm having pretty bad performance drops now that I've jumped into a race here, which is not great, but I'm not really... That's not what we're looking at right now, we'll be honest. I just want to see if I do this quick 2-lap race here at Laguna Seca. Let's see if I earn credits, depending on where I finish. That's what I want to know. We'll turn the traction control off. But an electric motor in the front-wheel drive Alpha, I can't imagine traction control off is necessarily going to help much. You've got to really be gentle with it. Oh, interesting. My game's just gone offline, so it's now attempting to reconnect. Oh,
yeah, I got the message quite a lot.
Ah, okay, that's the first time I've seen it.
It seems to be fine. Like, it just sort of has a little think and then goes back to normal.
Seems to be what's happened to mine as well.
I think a lot of people are trying it at the same time as well, so this will be part of the stress test that SimGrid and Hell FM, and I don't know if anyone else is doing it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, on to lap 2, P6. So just a reminder, guys, this is a temporary update that's come to Assetto Corsa EVO, just for today only. Obviously, the intention is that if this all works, they can implement this properly to the full game, or to the full early access version of the game. But basically, right now there's a stress test going on where Driving Academy is unlocked. The online mode has been unlocked, and that obviously unlocks the currency, the leveling up system, the dealership, all these things. So that's what we're testing today, and you can give it a go yourselves as well by checking out the pinned comment on the stream, on the YouTube chat, and also just heading over to the TraxionGG website, where you will find instructions on how to get this beta installed. Simply entering a code in the right place, and then you will also have access to this. So there you go. And we've also got some videos on the channel summarising my my first thoughts from a 3-hour stream at the moment of launch. Obviously things have changed already since then. And also we've done a video looking at all of the features that we know are coming to Assetto Corsa EVO at some point between now and the end of the year, but aren't there yet. So if you want more information about when free roam is coming, when career mode might be coming, all of these sorts of things, you can check out that video on the channel as well.
We have done everything on AC and continue to do everything in the future.
It does. It's funny, doesn't it, when a new game launches, especially one like this in early access, where there's so much excitement and stuff around it, but at the end of the day, this game at the moment is so bare bones. Oh, I've mucked up the last corner. Anyway, right. Race over, P6, I believe. AI wasn't actually too bad in that race. Which is interesting considering what I've discovered with AI so far and what I've been complaining about. But that's the end of the race, so let's now see what happens. Do I get any... Oh, okay, so consumables, minus 25 virtual credits. So I'm guessing that is fuel or tires, damage, because I've crashed into people, maybe? I've gained 11,500 XP, so I'm now level 5. I've gained 14,000 credits from a 2-lap race, so that is more credits than doing Driver Academy. I wonder if it's something like credits related to distance traveled, or I don't know if it's results, distance, what it is.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with distance, because if you repeat like a license test, you get credits, even though like you might not beat your time.
Yeah, but you get less, don't you, after you've done it?
Yeah.
Let's do a hot stint. Ross, do you fancy... Are you... what are you doing right now? I know you're obviously on the stream with me. Are you also testing stuff while you're here? Or are you... Because...
Yes, I'm just making my way through the licenses.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to.
That's fine. I was going to ask if you wanted to do a special event at the same time, do a little competition, but I don't want to interrupt your... I don't want to interrupt your progress on the licenses.
Once I finish this one, we can do that.
Cool. I'm thinking that the Porsche Cup car at Mount Panorama has to be.
Oh god.
Has to be. So yeah, Jerry, the special events, at the moment, it looks like the special events are all hot stints, 10-minute hot stints, which essentially means that you perform a stint, like a race stint, for 10 minutes. So I'm guessing it will take the average lap time from those 10 minutes rather than your fastest lap. And then, depending on how you finish on that, you will get credits, presumably. Once the game is fully optimized and in online mode and everything's working as it should, I'm guessing there'll be a leaderboard, an online leaderboard, like there was in Assetto Corsa Competizione, so you can see how your stint time compares to your friends or other people online, and maybe there'll be rewards and stuff for that. But right now, that's unlikely to be the case, because this is only a one-day thing. And I also expect, if this is anything like special events in ACC, it won't always just be a hot stint. There might be hot lap, or I don't know what, other types of race events, because obviously in this beta we don't have different types of race events yet. You cannot force a hot stint in the normal single player modes. You have to do it in special events. So we don't yet know the scale and the range of different types of events you can do. So yeah, just single player for now. But then the whole game is just single player for now. It's just for today. This is essentially a stress test. So eventually, when multiplayer comes into this game, I think we'll get there. We're just gonna wait for we're gonna let Ross do his license test, and then we're gonna jump in a special event at the same time and just see how we're getting on. So I've got someone to race against at least. We're gonna do Mount Panorama in the 911 GT3 Cup car. Love the track, love the car. Be interesting to see how it goes over a 10-minute stint, which I've not done a 10-minute stint yet in that car. I've just done a few races, 1 or 2 laps. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay, loading up.
Right, I'm loading up as well. Well, it's starting at 6:20 in the morning as well, so that's going to be interesting. Once you're ready, I'll let you know when I'm ready, and then we can go at the same time.
Yeah, we'll have to click drive at the same time.
Yeah. No driver assist in this car, so it's going to be proper.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was ABS.
Oh, is there ABS? There might be ABS, actually. If you give me a second, I'm actually going to make some settings tweaks to the sim.
Oh,
because
right.
I need every...
Got a vehicle set up and do the hacks.
Plus power, 100 brake horsepower. I don't think that would help me. No, what I'm going to do, actually, is just add a little bit, because we're driving a race car, I'd like a little bit more force feedback strength. And I'm just that competitive, Right. Put my gloves back on. I didn't need to take off. I've not touched. We're going default setups, Ross. You're not using your setup guru magician skills to give yourself an advantage over me here. I'm allowed to use my force feedback settings, but you're not.
Yeah, I see that.
Right. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll hit drive.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, drive.
And away we go. Right, let us know in the comments. I mean, I don't know if you guys have an indication of myself versus Ross and how we'd normally stack up, but let me tell you that we've been racing together for a number of years, and there is, I would say, nothing between us. So this is our first competition on a new game. It'd be interesting to see who can prevail.
You say there's nothing between us, there's actually 14 years between us. 14 years about 3 stone.
Which way, we'll let the viewers decide. So it's a 10-minute hot stint, so this should just be basically hot lapping for 10 minutes and see what lap times you get around the circuit, and the total time or the average lap time or something will be then used as your result, I would presume. First time driving the Cup car at Mount Panorama, and I've already gone a bit deep.
10 minutes seems quite optimistic.
I know, but all of them are 10 minutes. We've got no option.
Oh, damage is switched off.
I think this is something we should mention, actually, because we've discovered this since we've made our previous AC EVO videos. Damage in this game does exist, and you can damage your car, but only in certain instances we've discovered. So, like, for example, this Porsche Cup car, Tom has managed to actually break the steering on this car to the point where the wheels are pointing different directions. But it took him, I think, 4 massive impacts against a brick wall at high speed to do that. So damage exists, but it's in no way optimized or in any way realistic, for example. And there's no visual damage yet, other than when you broke the steering, you could see the wheels pointing towards each other. So There is damage, actually, but the road cars, so far, we've discovered no damage at all.
On the Destructor.
Right, Ross, I'm just heading down towards the chase now.
Yep.
Apex now. Oh, no! I've lost it big time.
Sorry, that was nearly a lap.
That challenge lasted a long time. I was just testing the damage model.
Have I won that then?
Well, let's just see. Let's see if you can make it without binning it at the chase.
Oh, right. Oh, I've already passed.
I can't believe that. I was hyping that competition up, and I've just gone flat out through the chase, and I've done exactly what I did in previous attempts at this circuit, where I've hit the curb.
Tank slapper.
It was a turn in and hit the curb at the chase and then get an unfortunate bounce from it. One of those. Now everything's overheated, so I'll need to bring it back down. Oh well, I've still got a fastest lap to try and fight for, right?
Oh dear.
Cheers, Paul. I'm here to make you all feel better about yourselves. Looks like my rear brakes or something is bright red. I think that's the brakes. So I need to let them cool down a little bit. The tyre temps are all over the place. Pressures are too high on the rear.
Whoa, McPhillamy Park. Oh, what a recovery.
Do you just shout McPhillamy Park every time you lose it in anywhere in the world?
Yes.
When you score a goal in football as well?
It's in moments of high stress or ecstasy. McPhillamy Park!
This is intense and stressful. Nice sunrise though. Guys, you can also challenge me in this hot stint. Now that you've seen how it goes through the chase, all you need to do is basically keep it on the road and keep it consistent, and you should be able to beat me no bother.
I blame Porsche, to be honest. Putting them in the engines in the rear of a car just doesn't make sense.
What I would say, right, and this is absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I'm useless and I've just crashed through the chase. I actually think driving this Porsche right now, I would pick ACC over this to drive this combo. I still think this particular combination, maybe it's car setup, maybe it's the physics, the force feedback still needing just refined, but at this moment in time, I would say ACC has got a better feel for this combo, and not everyone will agree with that. And I know that some people will definitely agree with that, but that's where I'm at the moment. It's different with the road cars, obviously, because you can't really compare them to ACC, but they're obviously trying to nail the physics for multiple different types of cars and different disciplines. I just think that the Porsche doesn't feel quite as, I don't know what the word is, but alive, maybe?
I think that the Porsche feels a lot like it does in ACC. Just going by memory. Like, I've not tried it recently or anything like that, so take what I say with a pinch of salt, but it does feel a lot like how I remember it in ACC.
Yeah.
Certainly sounds are exactly the same.
Yeah, sounds they feel like they're just ported straight across, which would make sense because I'm pretty sure they use all that, data from the real car, and it makes sense that they would use the same sounds for a car that was built within the last few years on a similar game. You really cannot it's really difficult to keep flat over the top of the hill.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not I say it's not easy to keep it flat. You definitely are nowhere near flat over the top of the hill.
Big lifts.
Maybe setup changes required. Ooh, big tack slapper on the way down the hill. You must be at the chase again by now, are you?
Yep, just about there.
I'm just heading onto the straight now. Right, 3 minutes 46 left of the hot stint already. That time has flown by.
Time flies when you're near death.
Time flies when you're having a terrible time keeping a car on circuit. Right, lap time. What's your best lap?
207.143.
Because this challenge was always about best lap time, nothing to do with the stint, as we said from the start.
Yes, of course.
What were you? 207 what?
0.1.
Ah!
Ah!
I told you guys watching that we were usually quite close. I'm 207.3 on that lap.
Excellent. And now, we've got to push, which is going to be interesting.
Full McPhillamy Park.
Archie Gemmell.
Right,
Oh.
I'm shutting up now to try and beat you.
Concentration mode.
I always say that and then immediately start chatting away. Oh, that's rubbish. Rubbish. Let's get up the wall.
Oh. Hit the wall. Cover up the straight.
We're both rubbish. It's tricky to push the limits right now. I don't think this is going to be a faster lap. I'm not sure. I've made too many mistakes. We've got another lap at the end of this one, though.
All or nothing.
Deep breath through the chase. Too early on the brakes.
That was a faster lap. 206.657.
I think that mine's going to be slower. Oh, 206.3. It wasn't.
Oh no.
The pendulum has swung. And that might be the last lap. I don't know if we're going to get to finish the lap we're on, though. That's a good
Better.
test. Yeah. It wasn't a good T1 for me.
Oh no, that's over. McPhillamy Park.
I might actually beat you in the stint then. Are you facing the wrong way?
Yes.
It's like watching those robocar races. The winner is the least useless. Oh, McPhillamy Park.
It's a race to drag our
I'm
destroyed
just
cars.
entering Skyline.
in.
Oh, too much.
Oh.
No, we're fine. We saved it.
It's very close.
I've probably gained quite a bit through Skyline by basically crashing my way down the hill without actually hitting anything. So is there ABS then? Because I'm probably not using quite...
Yes.
I'm not
there
using
is.
the brakes in the right way.
Thank goodness there is. I'm on Conrad Straight.
Hope you guys are enjoying. Thanks for the comment, Magic Tap. Sorry I can't really read them as much right now. For clear reasons. Went really late on the brakes into the... Oh yes, the car stops really well. I've just discovered a new level of braking with 2 corners to go in the last lap. I want to do that again now.
Want to start finish straight?
Same. Oh, wait, I'm crossed. I'll tell you when I cross the line because it's going to be very close. Cross the line. Now.
Alright, I was like 3 seconds ahead of you.
No. 205.7 on the last lap. So now that we've changed the rules to suit me, I've won the challenge.
Well, congratulations.
Your crash was less bad though, so congratulations on the stint win. Oh, I'm tired after that, guys. Right, so there's a hot stint for you. I only earned 800 credits from that, Ross.
Oh.
I don't know about you.
I earned 23,627.
So, well, that's strange because you also crashed. So I don't know why the credit difference is so big.
What was your consumables?
It didn't come up with any consumables.
Oh, really?
Do you think the credits at the moment are just because they're testing it? Do you think it's just completely random? Because there's no rhyme or reason in any of that. You didn't get consumable. You got consumables. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
We both finished the run. We both did similar-ish overall times with one big mistake each, and we both very, very different results. So that's
What was your
interesting.
XP?
It didn't. I don't think it said anything. Sorry, guys. In the stream, if you watched back 20 seconds ago, before I clicked off it, I don't think there was any XP gains there, was there?
So I got 29,500 XP.
So what level? Well, I guess I'm midway through level 5, but I felt like I was already midway through level 5, so that's really interesting.
Yeah, strange.
That is a bit strange. Okay, so I got 1k XP. I'm absolutely lying. Thank you to everyone in the chat who keeps me great. I got 1000 XP apparently. I'm not capable of reading screens very well. So what we've learned from today's stream so far is that you can do single player races with the cars that you own in this particular build that will only last for one day, has a bit of a test bed. But you can do the races in the cars you own, and by doing those races you earn XP and money. You can then use that money to obviously buy more cars, but you can only buy cars when you've unlocked the correct equivalent license level for that car. So because we have done Driver Academy level 1 essentially, sports car license, we've got our sports car license, which means we can now buy sports cars. And then obviously we also earn money by doing those license tests or by doing races in order to be able to afford to buy the sports cars that are now unlocked. So there's two things going on. There's unlocking it through passing these challenges, and then there's earning the money through either doing these challenges or racing or doing hot stints. Apparently Ross earns more than me though.
Because I'm older, obviously. That's the other thing, you can put your age into your driver profile.
I saw that.
So yeah.
Do you? No, you don't. You definitely don't own the Porsche, right?
No.
So it's not like you owned the car and then got more money or consumables because you owned it. It makes sense that I got consumables on the Alpha Junior, but a great comment in there. Very good point. Consumables on a car that you own, you're obviously paying for it. Whereas if you're maybe renting it or doing a special event, you're not. But then because you don't own that car, I don't see how you've got consumables for that event. So that is interesting. Just a reminder, guys, if you just joined the stream, you too can have a go at this. You can have a go at Driver Academy. You can have a go at the leveling up system, the money, the dealerships, all these things, the special events. If you follow the instructions on the pinned comment on this YouTube channel, on this YouTube stream, I should say, or you just head over to the TraxionGG website and it'll be right near the top. Basically an article explaining how you can actually do this for yourself, and it's one day only. So if you guys have a chance to give it a go, do it, stress test it, and if you don't, hopefully you're enjoying the stream anyway and you can see a little bit more of what you can expect from it. We're going to try a first wet license. I'm going to turn off the traction control for this, just to make life more interesting.
Brave.
Yeah, for me, Ross, I've jumped the start and it's instantly given me a penalty. So I cannot jump the start.
So even when you're on the 5th red light?
Oh, maybe I did it on the 4th. Let me do that one more time. We're experimenting with whether we can cheat or not right now.
Experimenting with cheating.
Let's see, right. 5th red light is on. First gear. Oh, no, you're absolutely right. So if you're on the 5th red light, you can go.
Top tip there.
And I don't think it's cheating, because I think as soon as you actually leave the line, the timer starts. So it's not cheating, it's just making sure you don't lose any time by getting a bad start, if that makes sense, or slow reaction times. Heavy rain at Imola in the Alpha. Ooh. Turned off traction control. And it's a rear-wheel drive car, so it's a bit more challenging, but as I said already earlier in the stream, I love this car. One of my favourite cars from the early game. 34.5 gets us 2 stars on attempt number 1. We'll try one more time to see if we can get 3 stars. 34,000 XP there. I feel like that's very random, the XP and the money. I do right now, I think it's random, but I think that's just because it's a kind of beta test, stress test.
Yeah.
Okay, that time, Ross, I did again get penalised for going at the start, even with 5 lights. So I think there's a little bit of randomness to it, to be honest. I'm going to try one more time to jump the start and see if we... Yeah, no. Penalised. So it feels like it's not every time, Ross. It's a bit random.
Well, I wait until like a fraction of a second before it changes. So like it's quite a consistent thing for me now, where I just go on the 5th red light.
Ah, okay.
So maybe just wait a tiny bit longer.
Yeah. So I did it that time and it worked. So maybe you're right. Maybe just wait until it's close to going out.
Handily, the license tests I'm doing right now are at Bathurst, so
Oh, well, you're ready.
race ready.
Oh, I didn't change down when I changed down. Oh, that's rubbish. Right, one more attempt to this one, guys, then we'll move on, because I want to show you more of the license tests that are available. That steering wheel's just gone a bit wild.
I mean, it's quite easy just to like breeze through with 1 star.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I should stop trying to get 3 stars and just go through them a bit more. Because we're not going to be streaming all evening, of course. I would love to. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully you're excited for AC Evo to continue to develop, to continue to build and grow and become an all-round sim that we're all hoping it will be. I don't think it's going to be 3 stars. No, 34.2, 3/10 away, so we're getting closer, but I think that's a really nice level of difficulty for me personally. I think I can get 3 stars on all these challenges, but I might just need a few goes. But there's none of them that I felt are impossible yet, which is good. But also, I don't think any of them have come to me easily. They all needed at least a second go, I'm pretty sure. So that's a good sign that license levels are a nice difficulty. Obviously, it depends on your own skill level, your own experience level. The main thing is that you can get 1 star in each of them, because that's all you actually need in order to progress. The 2 and 3 star thing is just for pride, I guess, and to challenge yourself.
But you also earn extra XP and currency for
Exactly.
getting 3 stars. So.
Yeah, so there is a benefit. There is a benefit, but there's not a benefit to progression in the game, just to speed of progression, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to do the Aqua Minerale challenge in the Camaro. I'm going to keep on turning off the traction, because I think you just get a better feel for the cars.
I actually really enjoyed the Camaro. I thought it was really quite nice to drive.
Which is funny, because when I've been racing the AI... Oh! Okay, I didn't enjoy that first run, I'll be honest. When you're racing against the AI, the Camaro's always the car that seems to be putting me off the road, or crashing into me, or spinning off. It's like the... I don't know what the equivalent is, but it's the AI car that I keep laughing at, basically. Okay, right, so we need to do that again. Did you run with the kind of default TC for the Camaro, or did you turn it off as well?
No, it's ran default.
Alright, we'll do that again. I actually got 2 stars there, but I don't think that's... I don't believe that. Because I basically went off. No, I definitely didn't get 2 stars. I should have got 1 star. Alright, try that one more time. Come on. Overheat in the front left, considerably on the outside. So used to driving this track again in a race car, so it's really interesting taking a road kart through all these sections, trying to readjust everything. It is fun when you turn off the traction, I'll be honest. You can just really give it a proper bootful, and yeah, it's a beast. But there's... Oh! Well, it said I got 2 stars when I got 1 star. And then I did it again, got 2 stars, and it's given me a failure. So,
Oops.
we'll take the previous run if it's going to
Just
give
cut
us
the
2.
track, maybe.
Maybe I didn't think I did. You guys will have maybe seen it in the chat if I actually cut the road there. Is this the only way to get currency at the moment? Asks Daniel. Yes, you can. No, it's not. You can also do races, as you suggest, to get currency. So, if I was to go back here and go into single player mode, I can make money by going and doing the special events, which are the hot stints, which me and Ross did a few minutes ago, and I can also jump in single player, do some quick races, and I can earn money that way as well. We don't know if it's been balanced at all yet. It seems pretty random, so don't read into how much money you earn from the races just yet, I would recommend, because it's been all over the place. But the race I did, I earned like 12,000 credits or something. So yes, you can make money in other ways. But again, you've only got this for one day. Do the cars you own remember the mileage? I think so, because I think on the bottom right hand side of the screen you've got that mileometer, and I'm pretty sure that remembers your miles for each car.
Yes, yes it does.
Perfect. And that's something that Evo are quite keen to, or the developers are quite keen to push. The fact that your mileage will be stored when this game obviously comes out of early access and becomes a full release, and probably throughout the early access period, your mileage for each car should store, so you'll always know how many miles you've done, which I think is a nice touch. I might have jumped the start. You're right, I did jump the start, to be fair, but it didn't seem to penalise me for it, unless I was just looking in the wrong places. So what Ross has discovered is that if you go on 5 red lights, it doesn't give you a jump start, but it only starts the clock once you actually get moving. So that's kind of your way of doing it Gran Turismo style, where, you know, as soon as the light goes green, you can get the car moving. If not, you're kind of relying on reaction times, I guess. But we need to test that a little bit more, I think. Oh, I love this Julia. Have you got a favourite car at this point?
Ooh. Cosy?
Yeah. That's fair.
But I really liked the Ferrari as well, the 296.
Mm.
I also spent a lot of time today, like, going through all the Ferrari's customization options.
Yeah. And
Which is quite cool.
the article's on Traction?
Yes, the article is on Traction, yes.
If you want to see
I
all
remember.
if you want to see all the customization options, head over to the website.
Yes, please read it, because it took me several hours to type it all up.
I did see the chats coming in last night. Looking at there was a lot to look into, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. But the Ferrari seems like it definitely has the most options in game. So you can choose like carpet colour and leather stitching colour, and choose like Alcantara inserts and dashboard and stuff like that, and then change the colour to like the official manufacturer's colours, which is quite cool. And I guess like if we have more like road going Porsches and things like that, and more Ferraris, like the options will be, you know, it'll be like a huge list. It'll be massive.
I'm excited for more of those options of the cars themselves.
It's realistic, isn't it? Like you could go into the Porsche, what do you call it, the car creator online, where you can kind of spec up your perfect Porsche. And the Ferrari as well. And you can pick these things that are actually in game as well, so it's quite cool.
I'm glad it's a mileometer on the bottom and not a missed apex counter. The BMW M4 CSL, I'm actually driving it right now for the first time ever. It's a really interesting seating position. It's like I feel like I'm Marcus Gronholm driving the car.
Yeah, you're on top of it.
Yeah, and I've just
you're sitting on it, man, in it.
You are, yeah, it's interesting. It's fun to drive. I've just gone too deep into the chicane though, so we'll do that again in Taco Rally. The range anxiety is a funny thing, guys. Yeah, you're saying you get range anxiety from the mile. I get that. You're playing the game and you're just panicking about putting miles on the car you don't want to put on it. I wonder if selling cars is going to be a thing in this game. I've not seen anything for selling cars, but I've not really looked for it, to be fair.
You would think so, wouldn't you? It'd make a lot of sense.
Right, determined to get at least 2 stars in the first run on this one. Oh, the second run, sorry, because I've just quit the first run.
I wonder if we could do like a wide body thing, like in Gran Turismo 7. And you have little mechanics like stretching out your car.
It's interesting, they've obviously put cones, as you say, on the apex to signify that, and the exit to kind of signify where the exit curve is, and that's cool, but I do think the cones on braking, I don't know if it's just me not getting most of it yet, but they do feel a bit ambitious, actually.
Yeah, some of them are, and some of them are a bit too, like, the opposite way.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, early access, you know, first few weeks, these are things that if they want to in the future, they can tweak. Because I think Driver Academy is not going to get smaller, it's only going to get bigger if it gets bigger. I think it will. Even Gran Turismo adds, you know, licenses these days to their Driver Academy, or whatever you want to call it, license tests. I just absolutely, you know what I really miss jumping on a modern sim and throwing around a road car. It's just such an enjoyable thing to do. Totally different driving experience to the race cars. I obviously love my online racing, and I was on Assetto Corsa recently filming a video, Beginner's Guide to Sim Racing, and I was driving a BMW 1M on the original Assetto Corsa, and it just got me so excited for this because the way you could chuck the cars around, I was just thinking I would love to jump into a race right now and just race these online, because you've got so much time to play around with the car, play around with the throttle. That's 3 stars by 0.003 of a second.
Nice.
And it's so nice to have that feeling back, that excitement of being able to drive road cars on a modern sim, and obviously go through that experience of making money and everything. Again, this is all going to reset, I'm sure, after today, and we're going to have to go again, hopefully with a career mode of sorts, but because it's early access, one downside of early access is the fact that, you know, the game is not full when you first play through it, so maybe you'll play a career mode that's kind of in preparation, it's not actually fully ready yet, maybe all the features aren't there, and you'll not get that same experience as you would if, you know, the game was fully built and then you started with career mode. Like, we're already going to have lots of experience with the cars and the tracks and all the different modes by the time that career mode drops, so it's maybe not going to feel like that exciting new fresh experience that you get when you first launch a new Gran Turismo game or something like that. So that's definitely a downside in my opinion. Guys, if you have any questions for me, do let me know, and I will ask Ross because he'll know more than me. That's how this is going to work.
Whoa.
Kevin asks, have any frame drop issues been slightly fixed with 0.1.4? So far, no, I wouldn't say they have. I'm running a very beefy PC, far too much RAM. You can see the specs in the description for the stream. But when I'm driving on my own on the circuit, FPS is absolutely fine. I've got max graphic settings and everything, it's no bother. As soon as I jump in a race with other cars, the FPS was pretty dire for the first lap, so I would say no, the FPS isn't better. There are plenty of resources out there though to try and help improve the FPS, and settings you can choose and things you can do. There's something to do with picking your resolution in Windows rather than picking it through the game, for example. I don't know the details, but go and check out the YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. The reason the RAM is so big in this PC, by the way, it's not because I felt like I needed that. I clearly don't. It's because the PC had a different use in a past life, and I bought it secondhand. It was a broadcasting PC, so it needed the RAM for other reasons, I guess.
It's got all the RAM.
It's got far too much RAM. Yes, I agree. Kevin's discovering my RAM number. John, I'm using a 4K monitor, so I'm streaming at 2K 1440p right now. So you guys are watching in 2K, hopefully, or 1080. But I'm playing in 4K. I'm doing everything in 4K on my end. Hypercar license. So we've got our supercar license, guys. So we can now buy supercars with money that we probably can't afford them with. Now we can do hypercars. So damp track beast car. I'm going to get my first taste of the 296 for the day. I was just checking the time because I've got no... I don't even know when I started streaming. I think it was like just after 3:30, maybe. Right. Let's try the 296 at Laguna in the damp then.
Just take care in the first corner.
Thank you. It's mega off the line. Even with in the damp, I think it's like a launch control feeling. When you say the first corner, do you mean... Oh yeah. My god.
The one that you just trashed at.
You mean the... Yeah, the first... When you say the first corner, did you mean the first corner?
Yeah.
It's not usually a corner.
The first bit that deviates away from a straight line, yes.
I don't think I'm going to get 3 stars. I promise I listened. Yes, so supercar in the damp. This is a good introduction. I'll be fine. I just need to listen to the wise people. Let's do that again. Yeah, corner 0, 100%. Apparently I did a 158 and I got 3 stars. So this is what I'm talking about with the glitches. And like, I obviously did that run. Don't even think I got 1 star. Went off the track, and instead of giving me a fail, it's given me a 1 minute 58, 3 star. So
Nice.
that's still broken. I got 38,000 credits. So just see the replay in the background. Oh my goodness, you can't watch replays at the moment, unfortunately, when you complete those runs.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame.
We'll try that one more time and try and actually get a good run. Good point, Porkhammer. I just demonstrated. That's what I do. And it's not necessarily a good idea. Right, we're going to lift through the kink. And I'm going to start braking now because I know that this first hairpin braking zone in a race car is just after the kink. So in this thing, in the damp, it's going to be earlier. I think that was pretty good. The traction control on 1, the kind of factory settings, kicking in nicely on the exit, to be fair. This car's lovely. More grip than I expected, to be honest. And
yeah.
we got 3 stars by half a second, legitimately, that time, so...
It's an absolute weapon.
Good run. And it says we failed. So apparently, go back 2 minutes in the stream, that's how you get 3 stars, that is how you fail. Thank you, Assetto Corsa EVO.
Grazie, ragazzi.
Grazie, ragazzi.
Do you think it's all down to the Alcantara inserts that you've selected on your Ferrari?
100%. That's a good point, actually. Timos, good point. I wonder if it's... Yeah, it's showing your prior run as the current result. Interesting. So it's like it's 1 run behind in terms of the HUD. Okay. Yeah. You guys have all noticed that. I haven't. All right. Maybe I should do... Well, tell you what, we'll do one more, and then if it's funky, we'll do a quick restart. We'll keep firing our way through these. Hello, everyone. Welcome along if you're just joining us. Yeah, the 3 star was from the M4 run. Yeah, you're right. The time was from the M4 run as well. That makes a whole heap of sense. Right, dry this time. Same car. I can't wait for the single-seaters and stuff to come into this game, because I really want to see how they feel and how they compare to other games, to Assetto Corsa, to real life as well, just with the downforce and how the grip is applied. That's a whole other area of this game that we're nowhere near exploring just yet. No, too deep. Yeah. Okay, it would have been a 3 star, so... That must be the previous run showing up now. But what I don't know is if it's actually going to give us those 3 stars. Because if it does, then I'll obviously quit, because that's no use. It didn't. Okay, that's fine. It gave us a fail. Right, guys, just very quickly, I'm going to take up the screen. And I'm going to just restart the game. And try and fix that glitch. Is Fuji Speedway? Thank you for answering already. No, Fuji is not in this update, but it is going to be, I think, the first track that's added to the game. And then I believe it's Kota just after that.
That's right, yep. And then Knockhill.
Oh, yeah. And then...
No, that's false.
What's the oval called? I can't remember. Lark Hall. Well,
Cowdenbeath
Lark Hall.
Race Ball.
Cowdenbeath. and then Lark Hall. I'm going to immediately stop making references that nobody is going to get, other than Ross and I. This is interesting as well. The game now loads. When the game was loading for me the first time around, I was getting none of this. I was getting none of the loading screens. Nothing was working. It was just, like, I could hear things happening. Other people were getting menus and I wasn't. So now it's all working just fine. So that's an improvement. Still remembering my money and my level, which is good. And my licenses.
The second last license test is the Post-Credit Cup non-ABS version at Suzuka.
Oh, yeah, the non-ABS one. Interesting.
And it's problematic.
Shame it's not Bathurst.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, we're back in. Let's keep firing through. See what else these licenses have got to offer. Oh, it's so satisfying off the line. So much grip that I do not expect a car like this to have.
So apparently you can cycle through the driving modes in the Ferrari.
Oh, interesting.
And it's got like a hybrid. I don't know if it's like a full electric mode because it is a hybrid. But I believe that you can set it to like an electric only mode. I've not actually tried that yet.
We've got 3 stars on the short run there at Lagunas. That one's a bit easier. I think the faster car runs so far have actually been easier. So that's something to do with maybe the balancing, or maybe they just want to make it a little bit more achievable for people that maybe aren't used to the higher power cars. I'm not quite sure. Does anyone feel that, I presume that's Gamer Muscle, complaining about FFB is legit? I would say he's probably being honest about his own thoughts, because I also think you've got to remember with the FFB, obviously everyone's going to have different opinions. That's a given, and you can see that with people. Some people have said to me, I've heard some professional esports guys say that the force feedback is some of the worst they've felt, whereas I felt like it's pretty good from the off. I've had no problems. I think it depends on how you've got your wheel set up, and how it's kind of working with that particular wheel. But also, even if it's the same for different people, people will have different opinions. It could also, Yeah,
it's also people have different skill levels as well. You've got to consider that.
Yeah, like I don't think I don't think he'd be lying. Put it that way. If he says that he doesn't like the FFB, I don't think he'd be lying. I think he will probably believe that himself. But that's fine, right? Like, even if he, not everyone's going to agree. Not everyone's going to agree on how it feels.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some certain things that are objective about it, and there are other things that are very subjective. But I would say, I've said multiple times, I think FFB is one of the strong points, and the physics are one of the strong points of this beta, or this early access, I should say.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not a total disaster that I've heard some people say. I actually think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Generally.
Driving the Ferrari again, and I just got completely sideways, but I think we're gonna... Oh yeah, we got 3 stars again. So yeah, the Laguna challenges in the Ferrari, I like the fact that the first challenge was damp, but the other 2 have been dry, and all of them have been in the same car, which is a little bit of a shame. I wonder if it's because the hypercar or the supercar licenses doesn't cover that many cars, but I would have liked to have driven a few different vehicles at this point. Maybe it's just because we've only got 20 at the moment, and they'll change that in future. Ah, interesting. So yeah, so Tom, well, there's another example. Oh, hey, Piers. Good to see you as well.
Hey. Hello, Piers.
Tom, you're saying the force feedback on the T598 is horrible. And that's really interesting. Like, I've tried the T598 with a few different things, not obviously with AC Evo, but we reviewed the wheel, and I thought in certain, when it wasn't in the correct mode, it would feel pretty awful, but then once you changed the mode and got it working fine, it felt great. But it could just not be optimized for this game at this current point, so who knows. Lewis is here as well. We've got Lewis and Piers.
Hey, Lewis.
We've got the whole GB3, GB4 shebang. Yeah, so now, yeah, so a few of you are now saying that your force feedback isn't that great, or it's, or at least it's a bit weird. So, yeah, I think there's and then someone, Formula Fan, saying R9 is really nice. I think, Ross, what are you running right now? Is it a Moza R12 V2?
R12, yeah.
Yeah, and you're kind of similar to me, right? The force feedback's not perfect, but it's decent.
Yeah. Like, I described it as being like Assetto Corsa Plus, so it feels very much like Assetto Corsa, but just a little bit extra.
Yeah.
It's a shocking generalisation, but that's kind of how I felt about it.
I've just, so you know, I've turned the traction control off on the 296 for this test, just for a bit of fun. Just to see what it can do without traction on.
Good luck.
Oh, there's a lot of power. Honestly, I'm really impressed with how it slows down and handles. Like, modern supercars are so much better than they used to be, aren't they?
Yes.
So much better than it used to be. I'm interested as well, so I've got 2 stars there. We're going to try that one more time. One thing I'm interested in with the... Obviously, they've got those kind of inflatable, start and finish lines. There sometimes, though, you have to come off the racing line and, on the exit of a corner, you have to go to the inside again just to avoid hitting them. But obviously, you go through them, so I need to see if it actually invalidates your run. Because that's actually really annoying if that's going to cost you time.
Doesn't invalidate it, but they're actually solid, so...
Are they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
They were for you. They weren't for me at Brands, but I'm going to find out with Laguna how solid it is.
It depends how far into them you go, I think, because they've got, like, fences next to them.
Ah, okay.
So maybe the fences are solid? I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, for me that wasn't solid. But you're right, I think the fences are... Yeah, the fences could definitely be the thing that makes it solid, but I just drove right through the middle of it and I was fine, so I think it depends on different situations. We've got a few people, by the way, in the chat saying they were level 6, then it reset to level 2, reverted the progress, and then restored, and that's, I think, what happened to Ross as well, so I think, yeah, but don't worry about that. Obviously, it's just a test right now. Everything's going to reset anyway eventually. It's obviously annoying if you're wanting to make progress and you keep losing it, but it should, in theory, come back again. Just try rebooting your game if that happens to you. So, oh yeah, Fanatec DD1 Rice Cake. I feel like it's likely to be good. Hawthorns. Is that a reference to me forgetting the name of the corner earlier? Thank you, Lewis. You're my corner name, my commentator corner name savior. Because I am rubbish. Right, full lap of Laguna Seca in the 296. Can you change the modes in the Can you change the car mode, like the engine mode, whilst in the license test, Ross?
I think you can. I've not actually set it up, so I've just finished the last license, so I'm just going to do the control settings and see if you can actually do that.
I'm going to try that as well. So the setting was... Oh, Piers is saying as well that the way the car bounces and moves over curbs looks really nice and it's realistic. I think the suspension, so far, and I'm not an engineer, unlike you. I'm not an engineer in any way, and I think that the way the suspension moves and the car's affected by bumps and stuff is pretty good. I think the force feedback feels a bit safe when it comes to bumps and curbs. I don't think I'm getting that much detail over them, but the suspension feel in the car actually comes through quite nicely. So it's like the vibrations are numb, but the feeling is there, if that makes any sense at all.
What's your opinion on the Assetto Corsa, the original one, in terms of like suspension movement? Because for me, it felt like the suspension is like made of concrete. Like I didn't really feel much going on there.
Yeah, this game definitely feels a bit softer and a little bit more... Yeah, bouncy is a good word. Like you can really feel the movement in it more. I think original Assetto Corsa felt good to me, but I do know what you mean. Like the suspension, it does feel a bit rigid. I've never really thought about it too deeply, to be honest. And is it engine map? Is that the setting you're talking about? Yeah. Or EC? Is it engine map or ESC? No, ESC is different.
I think it's performance mode.
Performance mode. Oh yeah.
I think.
Right, let's try it.
I'm going to try it. Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. I always do this. I go to assign a button and then realize I'm in the keyboard and mouse section. Oh yeah, that's
all licenses done.
Well done, well done. Just a reminder as well. We have all of the recommended Kunos settings.
You don't seem to get any like special bonus for doing this. So.
We have, yeah, on the Traxion website, there's recommended settings from Kunos for all of these different wheels. So like SimuCube has recommended settings, Fanatec has recommended settings, Moza. I don't know all of them off by heart, but if you go on the Traxion website, you'll be able to see.
I'm just going to go to the Ferrari dealership now and buy a 296.
I'm jealous. I'm driving it anyway, so it's fine.
Because I've got 822,000 credits.
Okay, I'm gonna... So engine mode. Oh yeah, so it's changing from race... I just changed it, I think, to race mode, but it's now not changing back. Maybe I didn't change it. I actually have no idea. And then I realised I wasn't looking at the screen, but I've made it. We're fine.
I believe John has muted himself.
Oh. I don't think I'm muted on the stream. Hopefully that's just in Ross's end and not not for you guys. Let us know if you can still hear me in the comments. Yeah, okay, cool. So Ross can't hear me. So I'll send him a message after this or work out what's going on. No, the lap was going so well. The lap was going so well. Let me just real quick see if I can. Yeah, I've muted myself on Discord. I don't know how I've done that. How's that, Ross? Can you hear me now?
Way!
I've pressed the wrong button. Is what I did. So we're good
okay.
now.
This is a no blame culture.
Yeah, I was. You know what? My lap was going so well until I distracted myself with muting things. So we'll take the hit.
Yeah, no blame culture, but way.
And for anyone who's just joined, the reason I'm going on the red lights is something that Ross discovered, which is if you go off the line while all 5 red lights are on, the clock just starts when you leave the line. So it's not like you're jumping to start. The run will be invalidated if you go earlier than that, but if you leave it till the 5 lights are on, it just means the clock starts when you start moving. And that kind of, to me, is how it should be, because then it's not also about reaction time off the line as part of a license. Because obviously you could do, when licenses come down to like a 10th or a 100th of a second, like they used to in Gran Turismo, you don't really want the reaction time to be the thing that costs you every time. That's terrible. I'm really, really enjoying this Ferrari. I'm enjoying the challenge of trying to tame it, but I also think it's really, well, that's rubbish again. It's really responsive, and it's really intuitive, but it does bite if you push it a bit too hard like I am in this lap, so it's just really, really fun. Like, wouldn't you just love to jump in an online race in this, Ross?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'd love to jump in like a track day scenario with a few of you, and, you know, all driving different supercars and hypercars, and, you know, seeing how they compare. But this like combination right now with my SimuCube, with the game performance, the graphics and everything, like this exact scenario right now feels great. Like this already feels great, despite all the early access stuff. But it's obviously just a very small vertical slice. I've still got 3 stars despite the rubbish lap, so that's something. Overheating brakes, overheating tires. 54,000 credits. Excellent. I'm rich.
So, performance modes do work, like they change the colour of the rev counter.
Yeah, it goes yellow when you change it, and then red.
Yeah.
Where does it tell you what the mode is, though? I'm just trying it
To
now.
the left, to the top left of the rev counter.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that. So hybrid is green, performance is yellow, and qualifying is red. So I don't know what engine mode I was on that run, but you want the red one basically.
So the hybrid mode doesn't feel very hybridy. But I'm guessing the 296 maybe doesn't have like an electric mode.
Hmm.
So if you look on your rev counter, you'll see when you hit the brakes in hybrid modes that the battery charges.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, it charges in all modes.
AVC's asking about my FOV. Basically, the FOV is exactly as it was when I first launched the game. I haven't calculated it for this game. I haven't tried playing around with it. I'm just running with the default. So obviously it completely depends on how close you are to the monitor, what you're used to running, etc, etc. But since I've just been firing on this game to capture and stream, and it's something I've not yet been playing around with, I've forgotten to actually focus on the track, and I've gone straight on into a spin. Trust me, I would have. That spin would have happened regardless of my FOV. Whoa! That was pretty sketchy on the force feedback. I don't know if you would have seen that on the stream with my steering wheel, but basically, as soon as I hit restart, it was the steering wheel got ripped out of my hand. Yeah, some people having issues with Logitech and the kind of default FFB. I get that, because obviously your maximum isn't really as high as you would want it in an optimal scenario. So it's interesting. I'm hearing a few people with those wheels having issues. Right. Ooh, okay. We're on wet tyres for this run as well in the Mazda, so I think the MX-5 Ross race car is slicks or wets rather than road tyres, which is I think what they run in the Global Championship in America, so it makes sense. It's the kind of the championship spec MX-5s rather than the club level racing. I'm just turning it into a drift car now.
Yeah, it's quite slidey.
We've got 2 stars, sliding our way through the S's. Can you put the roof up? I don't think you can, unfortunately. I mean, the Global MX-5 definitely not, because it's a race car with a roll cage, so the roof is removed. But even for the Honda, I don't want to say for sure, because I've not really tried to look for a setting. I don't know if you know, Ross, but I didn't, upon a quick blast, I didn't realise or didn't notice anything about putting a roof up.
There are like special animations, they're called, in the controls menu. So, for example, in the Audi RS3 Sportback, there's like an animation for the like panoramic roof.
Oh, okay.
So that'll open, and you can open it while you're driving as well.
Interesting. I wonder if you can close like the S2000's roof. Drive for the second test in the MX-5 here at Suzuka. So we'll be able to put the slick tyres through their paces. All of the MX-5 racing I've done in the past is all... no, that's not true. I've done a little bit on slicks. Actually, no, it's all been on road tyres, so it's very difficult to get a direct comparison to how it feels compared to the MX-5 race cars that I've driven. But in terms of like handling and flightiness, it definitely feels similar. It's just obviously a very different overall level of grip. 43.3, so another 3 stars. I actually think these tests are getting a little bit easier the further we go. Don't know if you found that, Ross.
Yeah, I think like weirdly the first batch of tests were probably the hardest.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It seems like it's the wrong way round.
So all of these tests on Racing 1 are all MX-5 at Suzuka, so that's fine. So then obviously, once we've run out of tracks, they're going to, I guess, start cycling through the tracks. Did you find, though, that because the first 2 license sets, you've got lots of different cars for each of them, but as you go into the racing ones, is it all just, like, is every test to do with one car, or does it change spec?
Yeah, kind of... Hang on. I'll go to the license menu and tell you exactly what's what. So, yeah, Racing 1 is all MX-5, Racing 2 is a BMW, and then Racing 3 is a mix of the Mercedes GT2 and the Ferrari Challenge.
Okay, yeah, so it's basically because they're limited on how many cars they've got right now, it's a limited test, limited car selection for the licenses.
That's it.
That makes sense.
So the last batch of license tests are just it's 5 tests for the 5 tracks. So it's basically Master Brands Hatch, Master Imola, Master Laguna Seca.
Interesting.
Quick panorama.
Interesting. Right, we're rattling through these now. 20,000 credits. I'm up to 300 and something thousand credits, so we can buy most of the cars, I think, at this point. But again, not balanced yet, so I wouldn't read too much into that. 357,000 credits. We've got 130R in the wet in the Mazda coming up. If there's anything else you guys want me to check on this update, I can see if we've got time to give it a go. Or me and Ross can do another hot stint challenge.
Hot stint / fastest lap challenge.
Crash followed by fast lap challenge.
Crash to slap.
Crash to slap. Fastest reverser. Damage model test. Alright, 130R in the wet. How fast are we gonna go? Fourth gear. That's what happens when you go on the curb. So that's pretty good. That's how it should be. Definitely was just testing that deliberately to see. Oh, once again. So when you click restart session, when you're in the middle of a run, if you don't get to the end of the run, just lift your hands off the wheel because the force feedback goes a little bit wild when you click restart, and that could be a bit of a wrist breaker or a finger breaker. yeah, for anyone just joining, as Nautilicious says, check out the pinned comment on the stream, and you'll be able to find out how to get your own access to this particular build, which is currently being stress tested at the moment to see how it works with lots of people trying it. So the more of you trying it, the merrier, really. Okay, yeah, didn't touch the curb that time. Keep it on the tarmac. Could have gone a bit quicker, but we survived. I think we've still got to do the chicane, so... Braking a tiny bit early, but I think we'll be okay. Watch out for the white line on the curbs. Careful on the exit. Rain looks amazing in this game so far, in my opinion. 2 stars on that one. No 3 stars, but we could definitely do it again and go quicker. I'm going to keep firing through them, though, because we want to see the next licenses. If you have any issues, football, come back to the stream and someone I'm sure will be able to give you some assistance. So yeah, the beta code's just been posted. Still too much grip in the wet. No sims ever really get this right. I think that's definitely something that's a work in progress. I think it depends on how wet it is as well. When I was driving the Honda S2000 around Brands last week on the stream, I actually thought the grip in the wet wasn't too far away from what felt like a realistic level for that kind of car. I actually felt there was a couple of times where I thought it would grip up a little bit more, especially off the racing line, and it didn't. But then the overall speed might have still been a bit too high for me, so again, that's something that they'll refine with time. I do think you're right that a lot of people have struggled to get wet weather simulated because it's such an unknown beast. And one thing I always say is, like, when you're racing in the wet in real life as well, no 2 races or conditions are ever the same. Like, you could be racing around the same track on a different day in what feels like the same conditions on the same type of tire, and you can be 4 seconds a lap different and you have no idea why. And it could be something to do with the temperature of the surface, it could be to do with the oil coming through the rubber. It changes dramatically. And I've had races where I've felt huge amounts of grip and confidence in the wet, and then the same circuit in what feels like the same conditions in other races, like suddenly I'm absolutely nowhere. So I think it is just a difficult thing to try and simulate. I do think no one's quite got the racing line being grippiest realistic yet, although iRacing's got very, very close. I was really impressed with iRacing. I don't think the Assetto franchise, obviously there was no rain in AC other than mods. ACC rain was great, but it wasn't 100% realistic in that sense. There was a bit more grip just off the racing line, which is realistic, but it still didn't feel like 100% authentic. Gran Turismo 7 does a really good job of rain development and dynamic weather, but once again, I don't think it feels realistic enough to say that they've absolutely perfected the rain. I think they've just done a really good job of perfecting rain in a racing game, because I think that's the difference, really. Trying to make it realistic is such a challenge, I think. And this is up there for sure. It's really good. I just think there's still a long way to go, and I hope they continue to work on the rain. I hope this isn't like we've done the rain now and we're going to just add features. I hope they continue to improve it, the way it affects the handling, improve the way it affects the overall grip level, and obviously, I want to see more variation in grip level depending on where you are compared to the racing line. I want to see, the puddle build-up's already pretty good, to be honest. I just want to see more finesse and more detail in how it affects things. But we always want more. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, though. I mean, the rain also looks amazing in this. And we can't really fully edit the dynamic conditions yet. We've just got kind of presets and slightly dynamic weather. I've just lost it. Lap was going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to have to redo it. Mazda MX-5, so much fun. Oh dear. So yeah, that's an issue. So, yeah, if Imola, because Ross, I think you said as well in the past that you have performance issues at Imola, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, good point. We've had someone in the chat has just said, sorry, I can't read the name right now, but someone's just said that because the license test, obviously Driver Academy goes to Imola on license number 2, they can't progress any further because Imola doesn't run.
Ah.
So that is an issue.
That's
for sure.
annoying.
Because then, I mean, obviously that's something that hopefully they'll optimize. You shouldn't be able to play the game on every circuit but Imola. If it's good enough to run the other tracks, it should be good enough for Imola, and they need to fix that. But the problem is, until then, you can't then, obviously, get the license that you need to be able to buy better cars than sports cars, which is no use. So that is a big issue. But again, this is day 1 beta testing, so Or not beta test. Yeah, it is a beta test. This specific update this afternoon is a beta test within the early access. So this is going to be taken away at the end of the day. But yeah, patience is needed, unfortunately. But I know that's not the perfect answer, but it's just the way it is at the moment. I'll read that comment about regaining grip once I've stopped crashing. How the cars regain grip when drifting? Well, that was perfect timing for that question, because I think the car just regained grip after drifting. I don't really like how the tyres catch grip like instantly and then the car just snaps. I've not really pushed it yet to its limits. It's happened a few times, but I've been more, to be honest, whenever I've been having incidents in this game so far, I've been thinking, oh, what caused that? You know, what were the attributes that contributed to it, rather than when the car's actually sideways and losing it, how it corrects. I felt like it's okay. I just think that I haven't also nailed the bump stop and the rotation on the wheel yet to make it feel realistic when you're losing it. So for me, the wheel still over rotates in real life compared to what it does in the sim, and that makes it difficult to catch slides. Oh, see, let's try it now. Yeah, so unfortunately I was too far gone there to catch that one properly. I'll try and focus on it more, and I'll let you know. But I can't say I've noticed any major issues, put it that way, with how it regains grip. But I do find that you're right. Like when I think about it, it does. When I get a big slide on, it does tend to. You can't really hold the drift and keep it going for very long. It tends to just, correct itself, or either you lose it or it corrects itself and goes straight again and then grips up. So that when I think about it again, yeah, I can see what you mean. Does FFB feel any more communicative? I don't think so. I think, again, Double Apex, it comes down to opinion. We've actually been chatting about FFB a fair bit, especially earlier when we were driving Laguna. I think that some people really don't like it and some people really like it. I don't think it... To me, I have not noticed anything different about this particular build than what I noticed last week, for example. Oh, you've got it working. Excellent news. Hopefully you enjoy it once it loads up. I'll try and actually get through this, guys. I'm pushing, trying to get a good time and feel the car, but it seems like I just need to calm down a little bit and just try and get one run in to actually progress into the next license. I do really enjoy this Mazda. Yeah, the self-aligning strength is something. Obviously, you can't really test the realism of the drifting side of things in this Mazda because it's on slicks. Yes, you can drift a car on slicks, but any proper drifting, there's a certain setup you need for drifting and everything, and I think a Mazda MX-5 race car, as much as you can slide it around, and I am sliding it around like there, it's obviously not, it should grip up a little bit more. Yeah, that'll be fun. Multiplayer is going to be hopefully one of the first things that comes to the game as well in the second or third update. We're hoping it'll be sometime around April-ish, as a bit of a guess. But you can find out when we think all of the features are going to be coming to the game if you watch our most recent Traction video, where we say it's called What's Not in Assetto Corsa EVO, or What's Not in AC EVO Yet. And in that video we talk about all the things that are still to come and when you can expect them. So.
Yeah, I think we reckon open world is going to come around about summertime.
Yeah.
And that could be about the same time as the multiplayer drops.
Yeah.
It makes sense because if you have the open world, then that's a good chance to try, multiplayer at the same time. You have free roaming sessions and stuff. So. But again, nothing's confirmed, so we know just about as much as you know on that front.
Keep forgetting this car's got ABS as well. I'm not using the brakes, but we just need to get through this license now. I've had a question about the progression of the driver academy and redoing events, not getting XP and money. Basically, I wouldn't look too much in at all to the result stuff on the licenses. Yeah, I think that's maybe just a little bug, because if you try it again, your final result should get better if you improve. But basically right now that's a little bit broken. Like, we've discovered a few bugs with the results not actually lining up with the reality, with them kind of going out of sync. We've also, you know, the credits they seem to be pretty random. The XP seems a bit random. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But maybe we've been thrown off by the glitch that I was talking about, where it's actually showing the results from a session before the one you've just done. So all I would say is, on that front, whatever it is right now, I wouldn't look into it too much. It's more just the kind of overall feel of things. And it's the same with the progression. You can't really get a feel for progression until you know how fast the currency is going to grow, and I don't think it's quite right at the moment. Oh, I'm onto Mount Panorama in the BMW, Ross.
Nice.
It's time.
Yeah, it's quite a straightforward one, I think.
It's Jack McIntyre. Jack's here.
Bike.
Hello, Jack.
That's a little in joke there.
It's been a long time, Jack. How are you getting on? There's a quick racing driver if you ever need one. Yeah, the main thing right now, I guess, is obviously, you know, our job as Traction is obviously we enjoy the games and we love playing them, but our job is also to bring you as much info as we can and test these things out and try and give you feedback. But at the end of the day, it's just about having fun and like whether you actually enjoy it. And yes, the game's imperfect at the moment. Whoa, my driving is horrendous. But you know what, I'll actually keep going because I should be able to get 1 star. But at the moment, all that really matters is, you know, you're seeing the potential of what it's going to be. I don't think this is going to pull anyone away from the games that they're actually playing, because obviously there's no multiplayer, there's no career, there's no open world. It's just kind of an initial glimpse at what it can be. And from that point on, you can obviously build and enjoy it more once all these features come. So right now, it's literally just having a bit of fun with it and seeing the potential and the feel. Hopefully they sort all the issues with the force feedback on some of the wheels that aren't as good. So like your G29s and 920s or G923s and all that, which I think from what I've heard are probably the biggest issue. Is
that more like gear-driven wheels rather than direct drive?
It could be. It could be that they're maybe more focused on direct drive as a thing. But in the past, I don't think that's really mattered too much. It obviously affects the feedback, but I can't imagine a developer aiming for a specific type of wheel because I would have thought it would have the same impact, no?
Well, I guess with like how direct drive is kind of taking things over at the moment, and it's like more accessible, becoming cheaper.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that developers are using kind of gear-driven wheels while they're developing it. So maybe it's like a final stages of development type thing where they get kind of gear-driven wheels, kind of entry-level stuff, and work on that. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. Just turned off the traction control in this BMW. We've got a few questions coming in. AJ's asking about key trucks. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you mean because obviously I know key cars, but key trucks, I'm not quite sure. Do you know what he means by that, Ross?
Maybe key trucks.
Unless it's something to do with tracks as well. I'm not sure.
Key tracks, maybe.
Key tracks. That one was easier. 3 stars. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know. Will there be key trucks in EVO? AJ, I'm not sure. So hopefully we can clarify that. Yeah, I'm good, Jack. How are you, Ross? Are you doing good?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm asking on behalf of Jack. I'm the middleman right now. Because I know you're playing the game, so.
Just thought you'd gone insane.
Oh, key trucks is in like, key cars but trucks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys are on it. I don't know. Do you mean like the Daihatsu midget?
Oh, K cars. Excellent.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But that's, yeah, so key is in K-E-I. That was a mouthful. But I didn't know what you meant by trucks. But that, if you mean like the little mini pickups, yeah, okay. I have no idea if the game will have those. Yeah.
Maybe they'll appear as mods at some point in the future.
We also had another question from Football asking, can you guys tell me when the next Sim Expo will be? I shouldn't have done that because I jumped the start. When will the next Sim Expo be? Well, there's the one, should be the kind of Sim Racing Expo, which this year was in Dortmund I was there, I should remember when it was.
Was it October?
September, October?
Yeah, it was October.
And it was brilliant. It was the best I think it was the best sim racing expo there's been. So it should probably be next year, around about the same time, October, I would guess. And it was in Dortmund this year. It's always been in Germany, so I think it'll be back there. I can't actually remember off the top of my head whether it's already been announced or whether it's yet to be announced and all these things, but we can obviously look forward to that, presuming everything goes to plan. And then there was also potentially going to be a sim racing part of an expo in America as well, over in Texas, but unfortunately that got cancelled, and that was announced. The fact that that was no longer going to happen was announced literally at the same moment as AC Evo dropped on Steam, so you might have missed that news. But there's not going to be, unfortunately, this year a kind of sim racing expo in Texas early in the year. So, you watched the videos. Cool, nice. Yeah, it was a really fun event. Very busy for us as Traction, but I mean busy for everyone. But we didn't even get around everything, and we were there for like 3 days. Okay, we've got the fastest straight and a turn. So this is the bit where I just binned it during the hot stint with Ross. See if we can get through it. Would you have attended the US one? I think there was a good chance we would have. It would just depend on a number of factors. None of the Traction editorial team right now are based in the States. We're all of us are actually based in the UK. 2 of us in Scotland and 3 in England. So going to the States is a bigger thing for us, but I think there's a good chance we would have. Definitely would have been Traction representation there to some degree, because we've also, there's other people we can work with over there. So yeah, I would definitely might have been there. It's just depended on a number of factors, but we never unfortunately got around to confirming whether we would or not before it was canned. So we'll have to wait and see next year maybe. Oh, the traction control keeps resetting in this BMW, I think, unless I've just forgotten to turn it off again. The M2 CS Racing, Ross, I don't know what you think of that car, but in every sim I drive it in, whether it's R Factor 2 or Assetto Corsa Competizione, I love this car. It's so much fun to chuck around.
Yeah, it's a good starter car, isn't it?
It's brilliant. 561,000 credits now. On to the last test. Cheers, Douglas. We've got Ross the Boss from Kinross in the chat with me. That's the voice you're hearing, as he's known in these parts.
Okai the New.
Oh, interesting. The Caterham 7 technically fits the K requirements too. I wonder if the
just read. Did you just read my rage read?
I wonder if the Westfield that I was driving last year would technically count as a kit car. Matthias, nice to see you back on the stream again. Hopefully you've been enjoying our streams these last few weeks, and we'll continue to do them. Can I say purple burglar alarm? Well, I can. Even though I'm actually living in Glasgow. I'm not from Glasgow. I'm from the Highlands, so I can't really do purple burglar alarm. For me, it's just purple burglar alarm.
Yeah, we don't talk that. Purple burglar alarm.
Yeah.
Or how about like a purple curly whirly?
Ask Peter Dumbreck to say purple burglar alarm when he's next on the commentary for Le Mans. Oh, that's awesome, Piers. Shout out to Piers' dad as well, who I haven't seen in a long time. Right, we're doing a lap at Bath. Oh, a lap of Mount Panorama in the M2 with traction off, and it's just so intuitive. See in this combo, the force feedback, everything just feels spot on. Like I say spot on, not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but it feels really good straight out the box. I feel like I can properly hustle it. I'm not driving very well, but I've got all of the sensations coming through the wheel. I've got weighted force feedback. I've got feel of the suspension, but then obviously you can still get it wrong. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that car. Right, come on. 226.4 to get 3 stars. Let's do it. Oh, that's epic. When are you gonna get AC Evo, Piers? Oh, amazing. It's almost 6 o'clock here in the UK, so we've now been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes, so... I'll do a reminder, which I haven't done in a while, that if any of you want to give this build a try, it's not just going to appear on your Steam if you update the game now. You actually have to enter a code into the beta section. So it's not super simple, but it is actually very easy once you have the code and you get the instructions. So to find the instructions, just check out the pinned comment on the stream, or head over to the Traxion.gg website, and one of the first articles there should be how to access this beta branch and give the Driving Academy a go, give the currency a go, albeit it's only going to be for 1 day. So just know that this is basically a stress test, and it's a way for the developers to see if they can cope, the servers can cope with everyone online, I guess. And so far, I mean, I've had a few small disconnections, which is, I guess, concerning if you're talking about like a multiplayer online race, if that was to happen, but I've not actually experienced any issues from the online-offline situations. And it's only disconnected briefly for maybe 3 or 4 times in the whole stream, so it's never been for more than 10 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, I've had the licenses reset a couple of times, but I basically just shut the game down and then restarted it, and it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, Pierce. That makes sense. We can all jump on then. Have a proper race in some fun road cars. Yeah, so you didn't have the academy. You'll have to make sure you activate the beta branch. If you just jump back a couple of minutes in the stream to the first half of this lap, I'll explain how you can basically install this and have a go at the Driver Academy yourself. So just check out also the pinned comment on the stream for instructions. We're going to finally complete the lap of Bathurst. Will we get 3 stars? I think we're going to. 2:23.6, so we're almost 3 seconds clear. So I think the tests are getting a little bit friendly as we get further in here. And we've got 100,000 credits. I'm actually getting close to 1 million now, Ross.
Ooh, I got to about 880,000, I think it was. And then I bought a Ferrari.
I wish it was that easy in real life.
I know.
Rice Cake asks, should you be pushing Kunos to justify why the game is always online? 100%. I think it's something that we've talked, we knew with Test Drive Unlimited, for example, that it was going to always be online, and there were issues with that because not everyone has online connectivity, but that's less of an issue now than it used to be, but it still does prevent certain people from being able to do it, which is not great. I get why some features will obviously be always online, but for the kind of base of the game, 100% is something we should be asking, especially when the servers don't work, and that's what happened with Test Drive Unlimited, and that's clearly what's happened with EVO as well on launch day. Yes, it's early access day 1, but the servers being offline meant that because the game was an always online game, there was no access. And the thing that I think bothered me more about that, and bothered, I guess, us as on behalf of Traxion, I can say, is the fact that there was no clear indication leading up to the release that it was going to have, always online features. Like, we were very much under the assumption that this part of the game was going to be available offline. So for it to suddenly, as we jump on for the first time, for us then to find out in that moment that there was a whole heap of the game that was basically you had to be online to get to work, including all of the progression, all the Driver Academy, like that was bad. That was not a good look, and it wouldn't have been as bad a look if they'd have said that beforehand. But then at the same time, if they'd have said it beforehand, there would have been lots of bad press about it, and everyone would have been... So it's almost like they were protecting themselves a little bit by not saying it beforehand. But yeah, it wasn't great. It's not great. And we, as Traxion, obviously, whenever we speak to the developers, whenever we do interviews, we try and push on all these things as much as possible. But nothing's going to be perfect, right? No game's ever going to be perfect, but it wasn't a good start. Yeah, and 100% you're right, Rice Cake. The issue I have as well is, like, as someone who's always loved, sing offline games and all these sorts of things, and I actually sometimes buy a game and then don't have the time to play it, but then still want to try it out 10 years later or 5 years later. Like, that does happen. So, with stuff like what's happening with Ubisoft and The Crew, where the servers have been turned off for the original Crew game, means that even though someone's bought that game as a disc, for example, so essentially you've purchased a game that you should be able to play on a disc forever to some degree, as long as you have a working console or whatever it might be, for the servers to be turned off, I don't know if it's MD or GP, it's GP, for the servers to then be turned off now, just means that like if I bought the crew on disc in a second-hand game shop right now and then played it, I would feel like I've been scammed because the game's not accessible. So there's actually a lawsuit right now against Ubisoft that's happening. We've actually released a small Traction short about it recently, I think. I don't know, maybe it was this morning or yesterday. And also we talked about it in our video, which was the worst of sim racing in 2024 in the kind of honourable mention section, so you can get a little bit more information. But yeah, it's not great, and we'll see how the lawsuit pans out. But it's an interesting one because I do not want to own a game on disc that I can't then play the single player features of because the servers have been shut down. It's like I guess it's an archiving problem. So yeah, I definitely think Kunos have got some explaining to do, but you know, we're in constant, as Traction, not me personally, but you know, we as a group, depending on who it is, are in constant communication when we can be with the developers, with you know, people involved in bringing these games to you and making these decisions. So I can guarantee you that, you know, we'll be pushing for conversation on those topics, for answers. We'll be asking questions, and we will, because we all just want AC Evo to be as good as possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, there must be like a reason for it, because it is so unpopular, generally.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if this is more focused towards like future kind of features. Like someone just said in the comments about like modding in future. So maybe this is a way to check the like authenticity of like some mods. So if there's anything a bit dodgy, but I don't, pure speculation, but something that would make sense. But you know, who knows?
Yeah.
But again, that's a question for Kunos when we get the chance to ask them.
We've had a few interviews with Kunos over the last year or so. The last one we had was during the Sim Racing Expo with Marco. But is that true actually, or did we speak to Marco since then? I've not spoken to him, but I can't remember. I can't remember if we've spoken to him since then. But there will be, you know, we will be pushing for any opportunity to have a conversation and you know, get these questions across to them. I just think that, like, I'm sure a lot of you will agree, there has to be some sort of balance between, you know, there has to be a way in which an offline mode can still provide you with the basic progression and functionality that, you know, you should be able to play the parts of the game that don't require online connection to be able to play, right? Like, there's no reason why a car dealership or a driving academy should be locked behind a multiplayer paywall. Yes, the leaderboards may be locked behind that makes sense, but no, we were not impressed by that as a group, I have to say. We were talking about it, and it was something that was really surprising. And I think I can't remember if it actually said somewhere on the Steam page that an internet connection was required. I don't know if you can remember, Ross. One of us, I think it might be Nosley, had a look.
I think
they did say it.
It didn't say that, did it?
Oh, I can't remember I can't remember what the result of it was, but basically, whether it said on the Steam that internet connection was required or not, it definitely wasn't clear in any way. I don't think it came as a, put it this way, I think it came as a surprise to everyone. The FPS dropped big time there. Obviously we're driving at Imola in the rain, so those two things will combine to do that, but the FPS did drop a lot heading through the last sector. But we're gonna get 2 stars. 3 more to go, guys, and then we're gonna call it there. I just need to get more money than Ross. That's all that matters at this point. And obviously, there's a lot of AC Evo content at the moment. There will be more AC Evo content as things develop, of course, because it's a big talking point in sim racing. It's important, but we're not. We're going to focus on it a lot right now because it's the first launch, and then things will calm down a little bit. We've got plenty of other things in the works at the moment. We're working on more Beginner's Guide to Sim Racing. I'm working on some WRC content, which hopefully is going to come to you next week, which is very exciting. We've got other content about old racing cars that never raced that you can drive in video games. That's going to be coming up at some point. I'm still to film that, but I've done the research for it, and I'm really looking forward to doing that one. So plenty of interesting things.
Yes, and in the background we've got hardware.
Oh yes, always. So, by the way, just before you go on, Ross, see you later, Piers. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your dinner, and look forward to speaking to you soon.
Bye, Piers.
Hardware. Yes, you've got some stuff coming that we probably can't talk about.
Can I?
I would say.
No,
I would say
can't.
let's not.
Well,
I've also got some
Some of it I
hardware
can.
as well, but I don't know when we're going to be making a video on it. There's still a few things I need to test with it. It's been very busy, but I've also got some hardware which I will be looking into and bringing you some content of, and it's very, very cool hardware. It's a steering wheel, and it's a very special steering wheel. But I'll leave it at that.
so I can mention the stuff that's already been announced. So Moza have got like an FSR2 Formula wheel, so that'll be quite cool. And the CM2 Racing Dash. So we're testing both of them. They were announced just last week. Or sorry, they were released last week.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
The GT2 really fighting me at Laguna Seca. It's a very
Yeah,
different driving experience to the other race cars, which is great, you know?
It's quite understeery. You definitely
Yes.
feel like the weight behind it.
You can feel the GT2-iness.
Yes.
It's definitely power over sensibleness, let's put it that way. But we got 3 stars, despite.
I was actually going to research that because the GT2, like the cockpit sound, is basically the same as the GT3 and ACC.
Yeah.
But the external sounds are completely different.
Interesting.
So I couldn't remember if the GT2 in real life has like vastly different sounds or not.
Something I need to look into.
Because I know like the GT3 car has like a naturally aspirated V8, so it sounds quite beefy, really nice. I don't know if the GT2 like shares the same engine, so.
That's interesting. I'm just, by the way, firing up, Ross, that challenge that you were talking about with no ABS. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's first corner, as I'm saying that, I could just feel the lockup straight away. So you need to really be gentle on it, don't you? Especially when the tyres
Yeah.
are cold.
As soon as you try and like turn and brake at the same time, it just locks up the inside
Yeah.
the tyre.
We've had a question about the, do you get more money the more stars you earn? Yes, it appears that you do, but it's a bit funky at the moment, so it's not always working as it should, I don't think, the amount of money that you get. I think that's just a beta build one day test problem, hopefully. So it's hard to judge it for sure at this moment, but I would say yes, you get more money for more stars. I don't know if you found the same, Ross.
Yes. Some vital input there.
That's all we needed.
Yes.
I look to you for panicked confirmation that I'm not spreading misinformation. That's a big lockup. Oh, no. Okay, we're kept it valid. It's not going to be 3 stars, but we've kept it valid. No worries, Pedro. Any more questions if you've just joined us that we can help answer? Just let us know. I had a question there about what you could do with the money. I can't read the full question right now because I'm panickingly steering this ship around Suzuka with no ABS. But something about what can you spend the money on, I guess?
What can you do with the money since all the cars are unlocked?
Well, actually,
buy all the cars.
but this is the thing. So this is a short-term beta for this particular kind of online mode. So this is not online mode now coming to AC Evo straight away. It's the test to see if it works. So at this point, you actually don't have all the cars unlocked. You have to earn money to buy the cars, and you can only buy cars that are that you're eligible to buy based on your license level, which depends on how much of the driving academy you've completed. So, for example, I need to complete this Racing 3 license set in order to buy Racing 3 cars, which is probably like this Porsche 911 Cup car. So, even though yes, you have been able to drive any car up until this point, that's now no longer the case for just this evening while they beta test this. So you cannot drive any car, but you have to get the license you need, and then you have to buy the car with the money you've saved up. So hopefully that answers your question. My poor front tires. You're right, Matthias. Yeah, I think obviously like we'll have to see how this pans out in terms of how much money they're balancing the progression. I think that's a big question. Because I want to feel like I have to grind to get good cars, but then at the same time, if you're racing online and doing multiplayer racing with your friends and you want to get them into a league, you kind of need them to have the racing car. But you can also rent cars. I don't know if you need the license to rent the car. I don't know if can you rent a race car without a race license? I'm not sure. That's a question that I won't be able to answer on this stream, but someone will hopefully be able to answer. This is the last test as well, guys. This is the final license challenge, 488 at Bathurst. It's been a great stream. I've really enjoyed it. Enjoyed going through all this driver academy. Enjoyed doing the special event earlier with Ross, and obviously getting our first glimpse at the finances, the dealership, all that kind of stuff. You can redo old license tests and get more money, yes, and more stars, and improve your PB time, basically. I'm not revving this Ferrari enough. Why have they put cones on the apex of the corners at Mount Panorama? They've literally put some cones on top of the barriers, and some of them are between the wall and the curb. Like, what's the point of this? It's quite funny, actually. I get the turning cones on top of the barriers, but the apex ones are kind of amusing. I guess at the end of the day, you're not meant to hit them, are you? It's meant to signify the apex. So I guess I get why they've done it. It's just funny.
So not a kangaroo warning.
Oh, I forgot this car doesn't have as much grip and it has too much power, but we're fine. I'm trying to kill the cones, but I'm failing. Ugh! Hit the wall. It's been eventful, guys. It's been eventful. That was shocking. Terrible, terrible run. You're very welcome, Magic Tap. Yeah, me and Ross have been sim racing together for a long time, so we'll need to get him on more streams. But we're actually streams that we can do some challenges on and some proper racing.
Yes, we really want to do Richard Burns rally stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
That was like peak lockdown activities.
Yeah, Ross and I are huge rally fans, big RBR fans, and we've done a lot of racing together on that. And usually it's very, very close, but I crash more. So I'd love to do that on some streams as well, but it depends on obviously what we've got coming up as Traction, and there's lots of things going on at the moment. So do stay tuned though, because we're going to stream more this year for sure. Can we get 3 stars? No, we missed it by less than a tenth of a second because I crashed into the wall. We'll leave it at that.
Sorry, Magic Tap. Is that not Matt? Matt from our time at
Matt
Zancho.
Webb.
Yeah.
I think
Hello,
that
Matt.
rings a bell. Magic Tap rings a bell, so I think it is Matt.
Hope you're doing well.
That's going to be it. Thanks, Paul. Really appreciated it. And yes, as Lucas says, yes, the corners are for visual references. It's also for the apex point and the turn-in, so I don't know why I was complaining about the cones, so that's funny. Appreciate you, Mateus. Thank you so much for watching. Glad you enjoyed it. And same to all of you as well. AJ as well. Yeah, it's great to have all the support on the chat. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little exploration into the world of AC Evo's online mode and Driver Academy. I've had a blast doing it. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully Ross has enjoyed keeping me company as well, as he's been investigating for all of the articles that he's probably about to write.
Not tonight though.
Not tonight, no. I think it's time to go to bed, isn't it? And have some dinner, I think is going to be the thing. But yes, really appreciate all the support. Thank you, guys. Just remember to keep an eye on the TraxionGG website for any updates on AC Evo and all of your news, guides on everything racing games and sim racing. There's actually new releases coming out this week for other games. There's DLC coming out next week. There's plenty happening. So yeah, do keep an eye. Oh, thanks, AJ. Good to hear you watching the ACC content that myself and Ross have written over the years. Really appreciate it. And yeah, also subscribe to this YouTube channel. We've just hit 100k in the last few weeks. Massive thank you to all of you who have subscribed. If you haven't already, I'd recommend doing so, because obviously the more subscribers we have, the more content we can bring you, the more it keeps us going on that front, and also you guys, as a benefit, get to see when our videos are released in your notification box, which is hopefully a benefit if you enjoy our videos. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.